And hanging out with me on the bench, we've got Jed Erickson. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just been playing some good old games, enjoying some aggressive Tooth and Tail. We'll see if we'll see any aggression today. This will be a little bit different because I see a free-for-all brewing.
Yeah, so the format for this is actually pretty cool. We're gonna start off with oh, hang on one second. So we're gonna start with a 4-way free-for-all, and after that, the first player kind of advances, quote unquote, and then we go into a 3-person free-for-all without whoever won the first one. And then that kind of seeds the first 2 people like in the winner's bracket, so to speak. And then after that, we got a best of 3 with the 2 players who did not win either free-for-alls. Whoever loses there is out. And then bam, we're back to 3 players. We go back to free-for-alls again. Lots of free-for-alls in this final. And the person who wins that free-for-all is qualified for the actual best of 7 finals. The other 2 got to duke it out in a best of 5. Whoever loses that is eliminated, and then bam, we got our 2 finalists in the best of 7. So lots of free-for-all action coming up in this grand finale. What are you expecting there? I mean, how would you navigate that as a high-level player, in a high-stakes match like this?
Is it sad to say that I've kind of had experience casting free-player free-for-alls?
I remember you did the free-for-all tournament way back in the day.
Yeah, no, not just free-for-all, specifically free-player free-for-all for maximum suffering. See, that's the thing that I expect when I look at a free-player free-for-all when it comes to these games. The free-player free-for-alls are a lot about defensive play because you want to you want to incentivize people to not attack you, but to attack someone else instead. And that tends to be the main strategy in free-player free-for-alls, because if you can get the other 2 fighting, then you can come in after they're done fighting and clean up.
Yeah, in general, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with free-for-all, but to me, like, strategically, if I was going into this, it's like, let the other guys duke it out, let me sit back and farm up, but, you don't always get that sweet spawn where you got 2 or 3 expansion gristmills right in your front yard, so you can be put in a rough spot if maybe all you've got's a natural, and it's like, well, I gotta be aggressive if I'm gonna keep going into later stages of the game.
Indeed, and especially on 4-player free-for-alls, this is much more doable. Because on 4-player free-for-alls, there's a good chance that while you're fighting someone, the 2 other people are fighting each other too. And aggressive strategies are pretty alright on free-for-all just because people know that being greedy is good, so they'll usually be overly greedy, and you can really punish that. But look at Mishi's deck for a second.
No, he's not! Mishi, sign my mousepad, dude. You gotta be kidding me. No, he's not doing that. Are you serious?
I should open Twitch chat on the side just to see how funny they are.
Yeah, we are on a little bit of a delay, guys. Oh my gosh, Mishi actually locked it in. Oh boy.
Excellent. I can only imagine good things coming from this.
Alright, a little bit of lag here at the beginning, but it should clear up, no problem. In the bottom, we got Cyanide. To the right, we've got Airlu. Up top, we've got Mishi, and to the left, we have Melvin Fro. Now, my protagonist of this part of the anime here has got to be Mishi, right? Like 5 tier 3s in the deck. Like, is this viable at all, or is he just schooling?
He's gonna take an early game hurting, but then he's going to go train up, and by train up I mean farm up for 10 minutes, and then he's suddenly gonna come back with 5 different T3s, and you're all doomed. Calling it. It's gonna happen. I kind of want to see Mishi winning this.
Dude, if he can get away with it. But the problem is, if anybody sends just the littlest bit of aggression his way, like, he's got to be toast. I mean, do you do some kind of, like, pre-8 farm owl or something? Like, how do you defend yourself in the early game with this?
Indeed, and that's where I think that if you guys want to meme with 5 T3s, just meme with 4 T3s instead. You can have your pitch and you can have at least squirrels so you can defend yourself. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least maybe take the squirrels over the pigeon or something,
Yeah, but again, would it really be funny meme if you can't heal your boar and badger?
This is true.
So that's where I recommend you just probably scrap one of your T3s. In this case, I'd honestly just recommend you scrap badger, really.
So this map looks pretty decent for most players. Airlu's the only one here that doesn't have nice solid access to 3 bases, so he might be in that little bit of an aggressive stance we were talking about earlier, where he can't just sit back and macro up. He's gonna have to get out on the map and get something done. But Airlu's a pretty big, like, mid-range beater kind of guy anyways. You know, he likes to make big plays in the mid-game, so I feel like that kind of suits his style anyways.
I think also we have to look at Cyanide, because if he's expanding to his third is going to be really close to Melvin's expansion, so some combat between them two should be expected if we get so far.
Yeah, it's same with Airlu and Cyanide here. Both of them are really close to one another. A little bit of lag in this game, but hopefully not too bad for the players here. And we've got Mishi going for that 6-farm boar. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think he actually feigned going up to 8 farms on some of the scouts and, like, sold off. And he's got a pigeon warren on the way. Now, the players can see that that's a boar, but they don't see that's a pigeon. And this is what I was worried about. Melvin is moving in on Mishi, and it looks like so is Airlu.
Oh no, but maybe they'll hit each other. Airlu's coming in here. Is Airlu gonna be nice and help Mishi? No, I don't think so. I think he's well, a little bit of fighting is going on between them, but Airlu doesn't really care much for Melvin. He's here to punish Mishi, and Mishi's not gonna get away with much of this. Nope, Arlo's gonna let him be crippled, basically.
Yeah, Airlu's going for the kill right here. Mishi almost got away with this. If he got like 20 more seconds, he would have had a boar out to defend himself. But it looks like Melvin's going to give up on that, let Airlu finish him off. And in the meantime, Cyanide's trying to macro up and build a little barbed wire.
Yeah, and again, Airlu is not showing any sort of mercy here, he knows that even if the boar is not going to happen now, if he lets Mishi live, it's going to happen later, and Arlo doesn't want to deal with that, so he's just going to go straight for the kill. And with this kill, Arlo might actually be able to just open up the map for himself and gain Mishi's starting mill as a potential expansion.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you know, Airlu was in a little bit of hot waters as far as which gristmills he could realistically expand to, and now that he's eliminated Mishi, he's kind of able to claim this 12 o'clock position up here. In the bottom, we got Melvin Fro moving in on Cyanide. Oh, going all through that barbed wire, just shredding all of his squirrels, but he knows the Badger Warrens here, he's got to take it out.
All these greedy T3s are really being punished today. No one's allowed to get away with them. That Badger is definitely not getting out here. That Falcon should be able to shred it, and maybe even, no, come on, damage the MG, come on! Yeah, there we go, that MG almost got the defense on, but no. Melvin does manage to successfully take it down, and now Cyanide here, without any T1 or without any real T1 that can actually fight, is in a similar position to Mishi, but, you know, a little bit better. At least he has MGs, right? And wire.
Yeah, so Cyanide is also kind of playing some meme tier 3 based stuff, and he almost got away with his Badger, but like you were just saying, at least he's got some defenses here to kind of thwart the advances of his opponents. But Airlu is not one to just sit around and let his opponents macro up behind some defense. He's got moles, he's got chameleons, these are great units to kind of bludgeon their way through this wire. And both Melvin and Airlu are kind of thinking about attacking Cyanide by the looks of it. Poor guy's stuck right in the middle there.
Yeah, and oh, those MGs are going to come down, but he can move right towards it. So if Arlo spots those MGs, he could just kill them with the cam here. Yeah, he might be able to smack one of them and just run away.
Ooh, and he forces the cell as well at 3 HP. Oh, the barbed wire finishes that cam off.
Invisible does not mean invincible, sadly for you, camps. Wire can still kill invisible camps.
So
I remember the time where cams couldn't be killed when they were invisible by mines. That was weird.
Yeah, they just like wouldn't trigger them, right? Was that the thing? So this is looking pretty good for Melvin, I feel like. He's got the wolf on the way. He's got the second base up and running. You know, not bad for Airlu either. And Airlu actually has a tier 3, which is a little bit out of character for him, but I guess that makes sense for free-for-alls. Like, sometimes you see him packing the wolf, but 9 times out of 10, he likes to stick to his tier 1 and tier 2.
Indeed, and that's very respectable. I do love some aggressive play here, but this time around, it is FFA, and having a late game option is really important, but look at that. Cyanide tries to go for the T3. Melvin just says no, deletes some MGs, deletes a bit of wire, decides to run away again.
So keep in mind, it is a little bit silly. We got the players kind of putting on a show a little bit here with some crazy decks, but keep in mind this is an important match. But at the same time, no matter how you do in this free-for-all phase, you're gonna get the chance to do some 1v1 best of threes against your opponents. So maybe Mishi was just feeling confident, you know. And same with Cyanide perhaps, and trying to put on a show for everybody, knowing they can pick up the slack in the upcoming rounds.
Indeed, and we'll see if we'll get any FFA memes. This won't be the only FFA, so I'm sure if people keep trying for the memes, that at some point it's gonna go through, right?
Yeah.
Monkeys and typewriters, right?
Oh man, speaking of tier 3, we've got Airlu with 2 on the way. The Wolf is almost out from Melvin, and again, Cyanide Trick is just desperately trying to get this Badger worn down. He keeps putting it in the same spot. You know, I wonder if he should maybe be putting it in this bottom right high ground that he's got as well. You know, that maybe make it a little less scoutable. But the Badger is a very fierce unit and can get a lot done. But I'm still, you know, Cyanide is kind of suffering a little bit from the classic, you know, defense at high level situation where the vast majority of his army is in barbed wire and turrets, which you can't use them aggressively, at least not in his position.
No, definitely not. I mean, MG has its aggressive uses. I've been talking about that to Delthius before the stream for like 5 minutes or something, but
which I'm very hyped about.
No. Yeah, but in these cases, no, they don't have legs. No, that'd be sick mod. Can someone mod that? MG with legs, please.
Man, back in like the very, very early alpha phases of StarCraft 2, they almost put photon cannons that can move around. I don't know why they just reminded me of that. That would have been crazy. But 2 owls almost here for Airlu, bought and paid for. We got second bases up for each player. Cyanide's even trying to get a third base up here, but Airlu knows about it. He's got some mines up and running to kind of scout things out, and he's just going to send his chameleons over to attack that third from Cyanide.
Time to make Cyanide sad.
But this Wolf for Melvin's just been pumping up this economy, man. You know, I really like Melvin's position in this game. He's even got owls as well in his deck, so he can make this really hardcore late game army that it's going to be tough for any of these players to handle.
Indeed, Cyanide is now taking another beating. They're losing his mill at the top side here. It's not really anything he can do about it. Those camps are just going to get it. It's kind of inevitable. But at least he gets to sell the farm to save 60 food. Down goes the mill. And now, look at that. Arlo is just placing his owl up there, slowly farming wire. I like the mine he has. Just look at that one mine there, giving him vision of all the wire and MGs.
Dude, mines are very good for that. You know, one of the only units in the game you can really kind of use as wards. As long as you have really good presence on your minimap, you know, constantly just taking a look at that to see where armies are moving. And speaking of armies, we're getting to some pretty big ones here. Cyanide's got 2 Badgers and a Boar potentially coming out, starting to get his pigeon count up. All the players have nice economies, but Cyanide's falling behind a little bit.
Yeah, Cyanide, without access to a third that's safe in any way, really is going to be struggling as the game goes on. Both Arlo and Melvin here have plenty access to mills and farms. And see, now Cyanide has to go up and aggressive, trying to get this. But again, he only has a Badger for damage. And while Badger's damage is great, just focusing it down with 4 Wolf Buff Falcons and a Balloon is going to take out the Badger before the Pigeons can really even heal it.
Yeah, 4 Falcons, even without the Wolf buff, can put out some serious burst damage, and you add on that additional boon, and it's just crazy. But Airlu's got a decent army of himself, and maybe both these players are going to crash in on Melvin at the same time. Airlu's definitely looking aggressive. He's going to come in here on the third base of Melvin and try to make some action happen. Just going to use the mice for now.
Indeed, but no, look at that Wolf Buff Falcons there, kind of chasing down Arlo's Falcon, getting a little bit of value out of it. Still, I think that was a good trade for Arlo, just because he gets to use all his mice and then retreat to safety right after.
Yeah, it's always really good doing that when you know you're just not going to be counterattacked, you know? I mean, there is that little spot of vulnerability when your owls don't have any mice, you're left a little bit open, but Heirloom's feeling fine right now. And he's got a 3rd owl on the way as well. Melvin is also building up to the 3 owls. And lots of falcons.
It's gonna be one owl-heavy game that's probably going to be decided by who Cyanide is going to be dealing the most damage to, or how they manage to sneak in attacks while preoccupied by the other person. I think Cyanide here is in a pretty bad spot, but possibly if he can get the other two here, Arlo or Melvin, to have a good fight, he might be able to take advantage of it if they're busy.
Yeah, he's clearing out that Heirloom mill on the high ground there. Now he's got access to a 4th base as long as he can kind of hold that position. And like you said, I think Cyanide might just want to hold back for now and let Heirloom and Melvin kind of thrash each other and try to come in for the cleanup.
It's going to be a little bit of a longer game now, not so much to say on the commentary side of things, but we do have a fight going on here, and look at that, just the mice going in here from Arlo and then retreating. It's going to be pretty effective in just getting a little bit of value at a time, but now it seems like Melvin is moving in for a little bit of contact, but those mice actually get distracted by Cyanide's army, so he loses all the mice he would throw Arlo's way, meaning that Arlo's pretty safe for now.
Yeah, this is rough because all players probably have the same game plan at this point of let the other 2 guys attack each other while I hang back, you know, so any direct hard engagements, it's going to be few and far between in my opinion. You know, what's your real incentive to do that? I think the main incentive is going to be to secure expansion areas, but we're kind of stabilizing in that regard. Like, most players are getting up to a decent amount of base. I really think the action might happen at this, like, 10 o'clock expansion that's not claimed yet. You know, because Heirloom and Melvin both need to get a 4th base established, right?
That is true. Another thing that's also going to be incentivizing people to go for hard-on engage is going to be those owls, because, again, Arlo has the most owls, and if he can use those mice efficiently, he's going to be better in these short engagements here, where he can use them to just gain a little bit more value before retreating off, basically. Which is what he's doing here. He loses his 2 mines here to the mice.
Up to 4 owls now is Heirloom. This is getting pretty deadly. And Cyanide doesn't have the owls, but he does have the boar to help clean up the mice on the ground, and he's got falcons, which are really the big scaling unit outside of owls that's nice to have. And Heirloom's going for it here. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take this 4th base back, and this is going to put Cyanide in a horrible position, because now, you know, Cyanide can't even really fully saturate his 3rd base, you know. His economy's going to start going fallow here shortly.
Yeah, and look at that. Melvin's ready to capitalize on it, and Ariel actually retreats away and gets the 2 of them to fight, which is going to help him, and now he's going to sneak in behind Arlo here and engage on him during that fight. But no, Arlo and Melvin smartly just retreat for now, and it seems like Cyanide is going to stay alive, but just barely. He's caught between 2 hard places right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, Cyanide losing that tier 3 is super rough, and, you know, once this 2nd base on the high ground starts going dry, you know, Cyanide's going to be in a rough position. He doesn't have a way to really keep his economy going, and I don't think he can really contest Heirloom's 4th base that he's taken at that, like, 4 o'clock position. You know, I'm pretty sure, unless he moves in like now while Heirloom's on the other side of the map, but he doesn't have a real way of knowing about this engagement.
No, sadly not. He can only really know about it once the mill gets destroyed, and he can see and hear that, but right now, that's not happening. Win this fight, though. It seems like it's quite even right now. It's quite hard to tell at this point. Arlo just do a little bit of owl tanking and doesn't lose any of them really low on health, though. It seems like now Melvin is starting to really take over.
Melvin's busting through. He might start actually dealing some real significant damage if he can knock out this 12 o'clock base that originally belonged to Mishi. You know, and this base is already going dry a little bit, so as Heirloom, you're going to be hesitant on really wanting to invest in rebuilding those farms. And now Cyanide knows he's got an opportunity to strike. He's going to try to come in and get some damage done on Melvin's 3rd base here, but I don't know if he's really got a big enough army to stand up against what Melvin's bringing to the table.
the other hand, look at that revved up Badger. That revved up Badger is going to be huge. It's going to deal so much damage. It's taken down. Gets bursted down here by Melvin. And now the boar is not going to live those camps there. And Cyanide is really going to be hurting now.
Meanwhile, in the back, Airlu is going for the kill. He's got so many mice on the ground. Cyanide's only got 4 Falcons left. I don't know if Airlu realizes it, but he can just eliminate the blue player right here, right now. Even if he doesn't, his mice are already on top of it. They're not waiting for orders. They're running right in there and getting some work done.
Ira knows that the mice are probably going to be enough here, so he just kind of retreats here to defend his own assets. And it's almost enough. Cyanide is barely alive at this point here. He's technically alive and he can buy farms on this mill here, but come on, is he really alive? He's a walking zombie at this point. There's almost nothing left, and it seems like Arla's not going to come in here to finish him off.
Yeah, I was really expecting a tap out from Cyanide there, but you might as well stay in. It is an important tournament game. Cyanide is now eliminated, and we're left with Airlu versus Melvin. 4 owls on both sides. Melvin does have the wolf, and Melvin has more of the tier 2 at the moment. These squirrels from Airlu are a little bit outclassed. You know, it's never bad to have squirrels, but at this phase in the game, you really want more falcons.
Indeed, here comes the big engage from the 2. Arla does have the home field advantage here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Melvin's army is just huge at this point, and look at those falcons tearing into Arla's army. Arla hasn't lost a single one of his owls here, but look at them. They're going right into the middle of the falcons. 2 owls down, 3 owls down, 4th owl is going down. And it seems like now, victory goes to Melvin.
So Melvin wins free-for-all round number 1 and does not have to play in the next one. I apologize about the lag, guys. We've got players from all over the world, so maybe one of these regions is not playing nicely. But I don't think it was too bad. The players made it through there, and we're going to hop into the free-for-all round 2 that is going to include everybody but Melvin. He gets to take a break. And let's see here.
Get out of here, Melvin.
Okay.
Boom.
So it looks like Airlu left. We need him to come on back. Let me see if I can coordinate a little bit with Discord. While I'm doing that, why don't you ramble a little bit? What'd you think of that first match?
Well, I think that's pretty typical FFA here. We see people being very hesitant to take hard engages, but a lot of small engages happen, and we actually saw some pretty cool movement from Melvin that noticed that Arla might try to sandwich in between the armies from himself and Cyanide here, so he smartly backed off. It's always interesting to see movement like that and people being aware that to win an FFA like this, you need to try and take a lot of short, small engages, which is what Owl is very, very good at. So we're probably going to see a lot of those. That's always nice to see. And we'll see, you can look at the comments of the chat here. Remember that someone said that Mishi was trying to use the Geneva Convention of FFA to get all his T3s up.
No rush. He wanted a no rush 10 game, man.
No rush 10 minutes, dude.
Okay, so we've got Airlu, Cyanide, and Mishi. Melvin advances, for lack of a better term. He gets to take a little bit of a break. So we've got another 3-player free for all here, and then after that, so we'll have another winner advance, and then the 2 players who don't advance on either of the free for alls got to duke it out in a 1v1. And whoever loses that gets eliminated. But here we go, guys. We are back in it. We've got in the bottom Mishi with a little, still going tier 3 heavy, but a little bit less crazy this time. On the left, we've got Airlu. And up top, we've got Cyanide Trick. And look at the adjustments from Mishi and Cyanide. I think that makes a lot of sense here. I think both these decks look a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, now the pressure's on, now that we've gotten past the first game here, so with the pressure a little bit harder, it is time to get a little bit crazy on decks. Though, there are still some craziness going on here, and I think that craziness is not going to disappear until next game, definitely.
Alright, so let's see how these players want to start. Looks like Cyanide Trick is getting a little bit of mole action going.
Mole. I don't think that Mole is going to be really making anything happen here, unless he's gonna go in and snipe that other Mole Warren. But there's just gonna be a smart sell there, and no, that Mole is not gonna kill that. Big, nice try, Cyanide, but it's not happening. No, no, the second Mole is gonna. No, he fell in the trap.
Yeah, it costs Airlu 20 food there, but he loses 40 food in the 2 moles, and also a big tempo hit. And look at the follow-up. 5 farms, Snake, let's go.
I have learned the hard way that trying to like, when your mole dies and you damage the farm, don't try to go in with the second mole. It never works. Take that as a lesson for me. Never try to go in and kill that low health farm with your second mole. Never works.
Look at this crazy early game decision making here out of Mishi and Cyanide. Airlu is playing this really heads up, but both Cyanide and Mishi are going for a little bit of wackiness. Cyanide's got a couple mines here to defend his 5-farm Snake, but it looks like he'll be able to get that up and running no problem. Mishi gonna rely on a little bit of barbed wire to try to make this 8-farm Wolf Warren work, and I believe Airlu did scout that out. Yeah, he knows what's up, and Cyanide's coming in for the scout right now on Mishi. But he actually doesn't see the tier 3.
See, now the game plan from both Mishi and Cyanide is that if 2 players do something crazy, Arlo can only punish one of them.
That's a good point. One of them is going to live.
One of them is going to live, and they're going to get away with it because Arlo cannot punish both of them at once.
So Airlu here is just playing really standard stuff, and I think he's getting in a good spot. He's just macroing up. He's already got his second base established with a few farms on it. We might see a tier 2 out of him here shortly, but I think he's just wanting to be really safe, make sure he's got a nice chunk of squirrels out before he tries to transition into chameleons. Even building some moles, just kind of anticipating maybe one of these guys is about to throw something crazy at me. Meanwhile, Mishi's getting away with the wolf. It's about to be here on the board in about 10 seconds. So I wonder where Mishi wants to go with it from there. Obviously, he's going to be able to buff up some of his pigs for a while, but he's going to need to get a little bit more done than just that.
Indeed, here comes the wolf from Mishi now buffing that economy. He's going to be putting down a boar and a badger to make for more good buff targets, so I'll soon be expecting some good old triple T free action from Mishi. But what is really good against boar or badger that are wolf buffed? I'll tell you what it is. It's Snake, and Cyanide's got him.
I actually kind of like this from Mishi, like just throwing out these really oddball strategies in these free-for-all games. And again, these free-for-all games are important, don't get me wrong, but they're not elimination matches, right? You can go 0-2 in both these and still win the event. So Mishi's just kind of keeping his cards close to the chest, in my opinion. He's not showing any of his real strategies that he's going to bring in the 1v1s. He's just kind of trying to maybe fake out his opponents with some really weird stuff they're just not going to expect. Like 3 tier 3 off 1 base, dude? Come on, man.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Cyanide just going for like 8 snakes now, because that'd be insanely good against Mishi's army comp right now. Like, snakes would just demolish the boar and badger, honestly.
Yeah, if he can get some good target firing, for sure. Maybe the badgers can get in and you know, eliminate those snakes, but by the time they do, the snakes will definitely get the kill from the grave. Mishi does have the pigeons, though, which are very nice against that sort of thing. And here comes Cyanide, gonna take out this 2 o'clock sneaky base from Airlu. Good job staying on top of the map and scouting out for things like that. Here we go. I mean, Mishi's got kind of like an all-in strategy, and he's got the pieces put together. He's gonna come in and start mowing down Airlu's second base here, immediately deleting it.
Look at that. Arlo's in a really weak spot because he's both building an owl and he's building 6 falcons, and none of them are up at the time that Mishi attacked there. So there's a really unfortunate timing for Mishi there. And now Mishi's out looking for Cyanide instead. And look at all these mines that are not going to go up. Ooh, that's a lot of lost value.
Yeah, interesting decision making here from Mishi. Gonna try to cripple both players rather than eliminate one. But like you said, man, Cyanide's got a lot of snakes here, which could be the death of this army. But buffed up, revved up tier 3 with flamethrowers and Gatling guns. This is going to be rough for Cyanide to defend.
Yeah, he just needs to keep the pressure on that Badger. That Badger's gonna die regardless of all the pigeons there, because look at how many snake attacks it has. 7 on it. Down it goes, and now there's just a ball running loose, and it's gonna actually be able to get the kill. And now Mishi has basically just crippled both players here. He's not gonna have a good answer to the Falcons here, because his Badger went down, meaning that all of his air damage is actually gone.
Oh, that's a good point. Airlu's got 6 Falcons here. Those should be able to shove back the boar.
Yeah, and it doesn't, those squirrels just die too fast to really kill the Falcons, so Mishi can't really do anything before his Badger comes up. He needs to micro that wolf down and buff the Badger Warren if he wants a chance at dealing with Arlo's army here. He's going to move the wolf down, but now Mishi's going to be attacked again before he gets it up.
Yeah,
look, those Falcons are putting in huge amounts of work. And Mishi knows, look at that, he's trying to buff the Badger Warren. He desperately needs it. And Arlo knows too, so he deletes the Badger Warren first priority. Because now there's nothing Mishi can do against Arlo's army here. And that means Arlo could just move in and start dealing damage. Mishi does not have enough squirrels to deal with this.
Look at Sneaky Cyanide in the west of the map. He's sold off all of his assets, and he's just going to go for some mole YOLOs here. Going to try to backdoor his opponent's Airlu. Knocks Mishi out of the game, though, and should be able to come home and defend against this.
Yeah, look at that. These moles are up and all. It's going to be funny, but nope. The army is here to defend, and there's not going to be enough damage done here. In fact, he hasn't even started really attacking the mills here, and that's just going to be sold. Sinai's going to probably try and rebuild them, though. We'll see. He has a lot of mills around the map, so he can force Arlo to just stay home with these moles. Mole ones are coming down. He's going to force Arlo to move in here again.
Good decision making from Airlu, though, just defending with the mice and using the rest of his army to start doing some damage to Cyanide to knock him out of the game. But are the mice? Yeah, the mice are going to be able to clean this up, no problem. Well, that's a lot of moles, but no, okay. Yeah. Mice got it.
To really deal with moles like this in a situation where people are trying to mole Shisha, you just gotta really play patiently, leave back some units that can deal with the moles, like the owls here, and not get impatient. Like, moving your whole army, trying to kill them too fast is just gonna get you mauled. See, now, Cyanide's trying to move in, but the owl seems to say no. Owl says no. Honestly, you should just park the owl there, move the Falcons around, and start deleting a mill or two.
Yeah, I think that's the plan now, and Cyanide knows what's up. Airlu is gonna advance, which means we are heading into, I believe, a best of 3 between Cyanide and Mishi. So let me do a few things. So we're gonna have Cyanide. So while I'm doing that, give us your thoughts on that match, Jet.
I mean, my thoughts on that match was, at first I was sitting there like, but if both people do crazy things, one of them is gonna get away with it. And Mishi got away with a lot of crazy things, but the moment that Arlo took down the Badger and he lost, it was not even Arlo, I think it was he lost it in the fight against Cyanide, but Arlo saw that there was just no way he could deal damage to flying units, and so he went right in, targeted the Badger Warren. That was just smart play from Arlo there, because Mishi had no answer to 6 Falcons.
Alright, so now we've got some proper matches on our hands here. Best of 3, 1v1 between Mishi and Cyanide. The loser of this is eliminated. So this is where it really matters. And Mishi showboating a little bit here, pressing that random button. But now he's starting to tweak it out. So let's see, double tier 3. But you know, double tier 3 nowadays isn't the craziest thing in the world anymore. You know, Wolf plus most of the other tier 3s, there's a little bit of merit to it. And over on the left, we've got Cyanide Trick rocking the Ferret turret. Really cool to see. And in the bottom, we've got Mishi with Wolf Badger. So what do you think of these compositions?
I know who inspired Cyanide to do this deck comp.
Is it you?
It's none other. Yeah, it is none other than me. I took like 5 games off him in a row using a similar comp to this. It's basically the same, but instead of toads, I had squirrels, and instead of owl, I had balloon. Just really dumb, aggressive, haha, buildings forward, very funny. But we'll see if Cyanide can do anything similar to that. He's going for a really, really heavy rush here, like really just quick 4-farm double listed. So we're gonna see if Mishi sees that. He does have a mole.
Oh no, the problem is that Mishi went for this mole rush, and the 4-farm double, not only is that gonna shut it down, but now Mishi's not gonna have any warrens at home. Cyanide's got an opportunity to come in here and get something done.
Yeah, Mishi builds double squirrel, but squirrels aren't fast enough. You should have built moles. It's just, it ain't good, Chief.
But he's definitely going to kill at least one pig. 2 lizards going down. He kills a pig. He's going to get this other pig, too. There's not enough cover fire for it. It's going to be close, but I think the lizards will get it. And Cyanide Trick off to a wonderful start this game.
I think Cyanide's micro was a little bit lacking on this one, but still, even with lacking micro, getting 2 farms there for the cost of 3 lizards is definitely a good boost in this direction. So he's on top of this game right now. Look at the response, like the respect that these lizards are commanding right now. Really forcing, like, oh, he almost gets a 10 HP, 10 food wire there. And he does take out a few squirrels here and actually just generally forces a response from Mishi, but he loses 4 lizards. I don't think that was worth it.
Yeah, really trying to double down on this attack here, but this time around not working out as well for Cyanide. I still think he's in a good spot this game. Mishi slowly getting back at it. I like this just 1 or 2 pieces of barbed wire here to help kind of thwart this off while he gets up a nice count of squirrels, but you know, Cyanide is still coming in, and now, you know, that last attack was questionable, but now I think he is just starting to overextend here.
Yeah, and you see Mishi selling his farms very smartly and forcing Cyanide to engage into the wires here, which is just advantageous for Mishi to the point where these lizards are losing a lot of value. Look at all the barbed wire coming up. This aggression cannot continue, and Cyanide is going to have to back off. If he keeps going with this aggression, he's going to run straight into a lot of wire, and that's going to be a lot of lost value.
No!
Oh,
Cyanide!
No. It's not a, no, you can't pay 7 lizards for 1 farm. It's not worth it.
Dude, he just, like, ran a stop sign at an intersection with a cop, like, sitting right there, you know? Like, why would you just run your lizards into all that barbed wire, man?
Oh, no. Oh, comment from chat saying, yeah, maybe Delthius just a tiny bit louder than the other one. Of course, I can fix that manually by just moving my microphone a little bit closer.
Yeah,
and the other one in this case is Jet Erickson. Thank you.
You just got to get more hyped, man. You got to get into it. That's all it is. You just got to yell really, really loud. It'll all So we got some chameleons on the way here for Mishi, and he's wrapped up nice and tight around all this barbed wire. If I'm Cyanide Trick, man, I'm taking that second base and I'm starting to farm up a little, you know?
Indeed, Cyanide really needs to try and translate this early game into something here, and I don't think he's done the best job of it because he really has been overextending. He's moving out this lizards again. There's no value to be really be gotten here, Cyanide. Don't even try.
Like, imagine if he was building as ferrets or something, you know? These barbed wire they're basically designed to deal with lizards, you know?
Yeah, and look at that. Look at the pig surviving on 1 HP. Oh, no.
That's the second worst feeling in Tooth and Tail. The first worst feeling is when your commander dies and then, like, everything goes to hell because you're not microing. That's the worst feeling. But the second worst is when you dive in with your lizards and that pig just, like, barely lives.
Honestly, we need to make a. Have you ever played the card game Shit Happens?
I don't think so.
It's basically a game about measuring, about the misery index and what is the most miserable, and you have to guess where it is on a spectrum of misery. We should make a Tooth and Tail version of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I could go on about that for hours, but Mishi here, he's got some moles ready to roll. He's got his chameleons. He's thinking about being aggressive. You know, this kind of army comp can do well against pure lizards, but that is a lot of lizards here.
Look at that. Mishi, I like Mishi's army comp here because having both cams and moles here is going to help deal with all these lizards. These lizards go into this choke here. It's just not a good position for lizards at all. It's going to be really hard for Cyanide to do any sort of aggression into these tiny chokes here. The middle here is a little bit better than the left side, I'll tell you that, but Mishi's going to be able to engage, to just expand here, and I think Mishi is going to easily be able to defend against these lizards. Now these lizards are coming in here. I don't think even without micro at the start of the match is going to be a good idea, and Cyanide can't really, we can try and get this cabin here and get a free campfire, but again, campfire is not good against free farms. Mishi's going to be on top of this.
Yeah, the 5-minute mark is way beyond us at this point. Cyanide Trick's economy is already cut in half, and it's going to slowly over time just get worse and worse here. as Mishi is moving forward. But if you're Mishi, you know, you realize, hey, my opponent hasn't expanded. They haven't built any tier 2. All I gotta do is hang out, and I should be in pretty good shape for the time being.
Yeah, I'd love to see some. Yeah, there we are. I'd love to see some barbed wire from Mishi, honestly, because look at that. Cyanide's not trying to capitalize on the fact that these moles are out of position, but no. In comes engage from Mishi. Mishi knows he can win this with these camps and all, and takes a pretty good victory here now with the better economy and the kills on all of these lizards here. Mishi's just going to be able to even wait and win, but he doesn't want to wait. He's just going to go straight in here. Toads are out here to deal with the camps, but a little bit too late here. Cyanide is not going to find much success with them, and Mishi's going to be in a commanding position now.
Yeah, even one of those chameleons living with 1 HP. You know, Cyanide almost had the numbers. Like, he got some good surface area on that engagement, which is really what you're looking for with the lizards. But that was a good bait by Mishi, you know, start moving the moles over. And Cyanide was just like, oh, I can grab these moles for free and get value. But Mishi's like, no, I'm gonna attack in here and commit. And he's gonna kind of go for the same thing. Cyanide knows what's up though, and taps out. And we're gonna head on into the next round, next match here. This is a best of 3. So Cyanide's got 2 more tries. If Mishi just wins 1 more here, he's gonna move on. Whoever loses this best of 3 is eliminated from the Grand Finals event. So let's see what they're gonna bring to the table this time around. Wolf, Fox, Cyanide, and Artillery. Now I like Wolf Fox, you know. I don't mind that, but the rest of his deck, no squirrels, no lizards here. Let's see if he can make it happen. Up top we've got Cyanide, and in the bottom we've got Mishi. Fox and Artillery on both sides. These players are just putting on a show today, man. I love it.
Cyanide, no. Cyanide, please.
Cyanide, yes.
Cyanide, no! I think this is a case of my mind's telling me no.
My heart's telling me yes. Oh, God. You know, I love it. I hope we can see... It's been so long since I've actually... Like, I've seen people select already. Actually, really good mole rush there. Ends up taking out that building farm. Nicely done. Yeah, he needs to go home, though, doesn't he? You're more of a mole guy than I am, but I don't think it's right to double down. Don't you just take the value and run?
No, Mishi hasn't reacted fast enough. He just built it now with free moles here. You could definitely maybe take a pick. I don't know, since the enough moles. You can definitely take that, yeah, and that's just a little bit more value there. Nothing wrong with Cyanide keeping this going if Mishi doesn't react properly to it, but now that Mishi has reacted, you need to go home and build some defense. Moles aren't the best at defending, but he doesn't really have any other options considering that, you know, he didn't pick squirrels.
Yeah.
Or lizards for that matter.
And it's actually not bad too for the extra 10 seconds, you know, those moles popping out immediately. If that was a squirrel or lizard warren, maybe Mishi's lizards would have got there in time. So Cyanide's gonna take the early game and be in a nice little lead here.
Yeah, it's nice that Cyanide is gonna be facing lizards here at first, because had those been squirrels from Mishi, I think this story might have looked a little bit different, because moles like these can just be kited real hard by squirrels, and with only melee units that don't have the benefits of stealth, it's just really hard to deal with the range of squirrels.
Cyanide Trick's thinking about attacking in, but I don't know how good moles are just by themselves like this. It's not really something I see too often. But
no, I talk about kiting,
and
even here, look at that. Mishi's just kiting these moles to get as much damage in without really losing lizards himself.
Yeah, some decent traits here, especially considering Mishi had less lizards than Cyanide had moles, and able to trade pretty effectively. Both players still haven't gotten up to 8 farms, but Cyanide's not messing around, man. He's got the proxy mill. That's going to help heal his units. It's going to allow him to make more warrens here on the front lines. Well, I guess it doesn't matter for the moles. But I would love to see an artillery, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Mishi's also trying to kite these here, but he needs to do that with squirrels, not lizards, because squirrels have the range and capability to really get that done. He's still managing to kind of do it with lizards too. Not super effectively, but look at that commanding win he just took there and that little engagement there. These moles alone aren't going to do much, and now Mishi is moving in here with a good lead. And he's kind of going to start kiting these moles here to be more efficient with his damage. He's really abusing the fact that moles don't have range.
Yeah, this is starting to look like curtains for Cyanide. Mishi's floating a lot of food, so he can go home, he can build some farms, he can build some more warrens, but Cyanide is losing a lot of value here on the front lines. This mill is going to go down for sure. And he's going to have to go home, and what do you do with Cyanide here, you know? Maybe try to get out some falcons? You got to get up to that 8 farms. You know, Mishi's easily going to be there when he gets back to his base.
Yeah, if I were Mishi, I'd see that he's just playing a lot of moles. I'd sell my lizards, go for pure squirrels, and just start kiting the hell out of him.
Oh, the YOLO Fox. Let's see if Mishi scouts it. It looks like he's going to, and that is going to kind of sign the paperwork on his, you know, thinking about attacking here. He's about to just commit super hard. Why wouldn't you? You know you're ahead already, and now they're going to go for a play like a tier 3.
Yeah, the cell comes down here from Cyanide. Look at all the mole warrens. Yeah, Mishi spotted that the fox one did get sold, but here comes the squirrels. Mishi's gonna be able to kite this arm, but he isn't kiting. He's just gonna let the moles surround his squirrels, and that's just not the way you should be engaging on moles like this. You need to really kite them, or else they're gonna hammer your squirrels. And now Mishi's doing just that. He's getting some kiting done here, and he's going to constantly try and pester these moles for just a little bit of damage value over time.
Yeah, and this road really making that a whole lot harder for Mishi as well. And these moles are actually not doing bad, but again, you know, even if Cyanide wins this trade, he still hasn't gone up to 8 farms. Like, his economy is just not good here. And Mishi's got that second base up and running, could easily throw down a farm or 2 after this engagement. He's gonna clean this up, and, you know, maybe we're gonna see a tap here from Cyanide.
Yeah, look at that. Like, that kiting is starting to finally really show its value now. Again, I would like to see Mishi kite just better. He did let his squirrels get pretty much surrounded on moles, but now Cyanide doesn't really have much going on here. And Mishi's just going to claim a forward mill and start going in, but Cyanide now is looking for mole cheese.
Yeah, but he's gonna...
Mishi's just going in with the squirrels, and he's using these lizards to just say, no, you cannot mole cheese.
Yeah, that 5-minute mark really hit Cyanide since he wasn't able to get up to 8 farms, dropping down to 2 there at the end. He knew what was up, and he's gonna tap out, which means Cyanide has been eliminated from the event. Had some really cool showings though. Got to see some cool games out of him today, and that means we are back into free-for-all here. We got a 3-way free-for-all against all the remaining players. So let me do a little work, and while I'm doing that in the background, why don't you tell us what you thought about that one.
Well, something tells me that Cyanide Trick got taken out by his own medicine. Dark humor, maybe, but Delthius, please don't kick me from the call. But yeah, I am definitely looking forward to what's going to happen here. And again, I just think that when it came to these matches here, Mishi could have done the kiting a bit better, but I think that if you want to be successful in the competitive scene, you should at least pick either squirrels or lizards. And if you want to be really successful in the competitive scene, you have to pick squirrels. That's just how it's shaping out to be right now. We have Dino as the one player that's really up there trying to get some lizard work in, but it's just not enough right now. It just isn't.
Yeah, and at the very least, you need the lizards, right? Like, I don't think moles by themselves are viable. Like, and I think lizard toad has kind of been established as a general, you know, no squirrel kind of build as well. So there's some ways to do it, but you know, squirrels are such a strong unit. You know, it's always rough trying to take those out of the comp.
I just don't think that toads right now are strong enough to make lizard toad work well enough for it to be worth the downside of not having squirrels.
Yeah, I agree. Toads are kind of in an interesting position nowadays. You know, they're not really this like budget skunk like they used to be, or like a big AoE on the tier 1. They're more kind of like a way to ram through structures, a way to deal with chameleons is really where you see them a lot. I remember Amari really made that known to me. She was the first one I was playing a lot against who would just build a lot of toads to just slam down your warrens, you know, just like instantly with that structure crit.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out that I did say that that toads aren't good with like toad lizard isn't good enough. That doesn't mean that lizards aren't. Toads aren't viable though, and neither that lizards aren't viable.
Right.
You see a lot of success with them playing them with other things than those two together. But I really just think you need the squirrels for both of them.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, it looks like we're ready to roll here. So we've got one more free-for-all for you guys, and whoever wins this advances to the finals. We'll have a best of 5 between the two losers here to determine who their opponent is. So this is a big match. And do we see another random for Mishi? Starts with a random, but no. You know, maybe you could screw around a little bit in the other free-for-alls, I feel like, but I mean, hey man, you know, skipping that best of 5 phase against Melvin or Arlu or Mishi, all of these players, you know, top tier, and getting to take a break and sit right in that grand finalist position, you know, I'd take that.
Yeah. You know what I should think we should be doing at some point again? I saw that one of the TOs, I think, for the Tooth and Tail League, actually made like player profile pictures. I think we should see more of those, actually. I want to see what people think of different players and what their strengths are.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely cool. I love seeing any kind of, like, vicarious lore and stuff like that, you know, around some of this stuff. But over here at the bottom, we've got Arlu. Over here on the right, we've got Mishi. And to the left, we've got Melvin Fro. And all these decks look reasonable. I think the double tier 3 really makes sense in the free-for-all environment. And at first glance, you know, I'm a little bit upset if I'm Melvin spawning onto this map, but perhaps he can start, you know, securing that 12 o'clock area and working his way down. And Mishi and Arlu, you know, they both have, it also looks like they've got some nice, well, I don't know, I'll need your input on it too, because on one hand, you know, Melvin doesn't have a lot of mills around him, but on the other hand, Arlu and Mishi do, but they're also like right at each other's front door, you know, so they're going to be contesting one another for those.
Speaking of Mishi, I'm actually going to comment a little bit of Mishi's deck. I really like Mishi's deck for this, actually, because having both the Skunk and the Badger is really going to help you gas all the mice and also take them out with Badger's huge damage. So I think Mishi has a really good anti-owl combination there between the two. And on top of that, both his opponents are going to be playing Owl, so that might turn out well for him. The only real problem I see for Mishi is that Falcons is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass for him.
Yeah, and he doesn't have pigeons, which are kind of like the skunk and Badger's best friend. But lucky for him, there are no snakes here, which I'm a little bit surprised to see the lack of snakes, since you can really kind of infer tier 3 in the free-for-all. But then, you know, you only got 6 slots in the deck, man. You can't run everything.
Did Mishi just build a cross outside his base with barbed wire?
He did.
just want to point that out.
Oh man!
I just want to point that out for a second.
Is it a cross or is it a sword?
Depends. Make sure you're feeling aggressive today. I think the most passive aggressive thing you can do is to defend yourself with wire in the shape of a sword.
Right. All right, so we got second bases coming up here. Mishi trying to get up to those cams. So is Arlu. Pretty mirror build so far. The only exception is Melvin hasn't committed to a tier 2 yet. We really want to keep our eyes on how hard these guys are going to go on building those additional farms.
Indeed. Again, greed is pretty normal in a 3-player free-for-all here, but again, so is punishing greed. And we see that it seems like everyone is just being greedy. There probably won't be much punishing happening here. So everyone's pretty much safe to farm up, and I think Mishi's going to be ahead right now because of that. He's gone for the most farms so far.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of like a 1v1 opening you would do on a really long map or against a player that you know isn't aggressive. And here's that extra cross or sword coming out from Mishi. Just kind of beware here.
Oh no, the sword. I wonder if Mishi is doing this intentionally. And if he isn't, I wonder if he's gonna get a laugh by looking back at the bot of this.
That's gotta be intentional. I mean, is there a reason that would be better to do? You know, in that shape. He's just making some artwork here.
Damn, can we just see, someone should clip things like this. Can we have like a community meme of people making barbed wire art?
Do we need
Can
it?
we have this?
I would approve. I'd showcase it on TnTTV. Have one of those as one of the episodes, like best of barbed wire art, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not really barbed wire art if you just pull it off in a custom game versus an AI that's a training dummy. You
That's
know,
true.
You gotta pull it up against good players.
It's gotta be like against the gentleman or something, and you're like, look, I wrote the word Wario on the map. It's like pretty impressive, pretty impressive. So we got the wolf almost here for Melvin. I'm liking that. You know, I think all these players have a little bit of ups and downs. Like Mishi and Araloo are in pretty similar spots. Melvin's not quite as heavy on the farms just yet, but he is going to have that wolf lead, which will even that out a little bit if it sits there and buffs up his pigs. And it looks like we're going to have the first real engagement here as Araloo is going to come in and start attacking Mishi.
Man, it seems like Arlo is just going to be commanding this fight here so far. He's taking out a pig, and he's dealing a lot of damage to those cams. Second pig is going down. Third pig is so low on health. And now, Mishi is going to be overwhelmed by squirrels. Look at that low health cam. Ooh, down it goes. It's just not room to get it in. And now, Arlo is just going to move in and start getting a ton of value on this.
Gotta be careful with that commander HP. I was a little bit worried for Araloo when the fight started. Mishi's chameleons did last a lot longer than Araloo's did, but as you said, so many squirrels here to back this up. And man, if I'm Melvin and I come over here and I scout this, I'm like, great. You know, have fun, guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna keep building cool stuff.
Yeah,
good time.
Got some owls on the way. Got a third base.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Mishi's cam comes in. Mishi cam go down. Down goes familiar for Mishi, and now Mishi is in a very bad spot. Arlo spot that T3 one, and I was saying no owls today.
Yeah, this might be curtains here for Mishi, especially because the 5-minute mark's about to hit, and his economy is going to be even further behind. Meanwhile, Melvin just building up those falcons, building up the owl. He's got the third base. He can start throwing down some farms. And, you know, although Araloo did spend some money here, I feel like this is pretty cost-effective. He didn't, you know, lose a ton. He's still got a lot of army left over here. He lost a few chameleons, for sure, but now he's kind of paved the way to take a third base, to keep it rolling. But Melvin is definitely the one in the lead this game.
And look at that Mishi chameleon trying to get revenge here. Arlo is not having any of that. That chameleon there prominent attack. No, Mishi.
Looked like Mishi was about to tap, but he's going to stick in it for now.
Oh, Mishi's technically not dead yet, but I don't think he's going to be living.
So now it's kind of Araloo versus Melvin. Mishi just running around getting a scout about. Maybe he was thinking about trying to retreat up here to the 12 o'clock, and then he realizes, oh crap, Melvin's already all over the place. And now Araloo is transitioning into a ton of tier 3 himself.
Indeed, I don't really think there's any place to escape here, so Melvin versus Arlo it is. You know, Bob Wire reminded me of one thing that I kind of wanted to bring up. You remember when you had, like, your ToothAndTailTV anniversary?
Yeah.
That was a fun game, me and who was it again? We were 4 people doing art where we wrote ToothAndTailTV in one of your replays.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was just thinking about that earlier. I wish I still had that one, man. I think that was one of the VODs I didn't highlight in time, which really sucks because that was awesome. You guys were writing like TnTTV on the minimap and stuff with Artie. All kinds of artwork.
A little bit disappointed you didn't at least say. Did anyone clip that? Maybe I kind of want to go look for that clip.
I think there are clips of it.
We don't really have time to look for clips now because Melvin's going in for an attack. Yeah, I think he's just gonna go in here, try and get a little bit of value done. Mishi's arm's a little bit split. He's gonna take. Oh, and Mishi's arm might actually just be dying here. No, not Mishi. I mean Arlo here might just be in trouble. Mishi's usually common folk, but not this time around. And now. Look at that, Melvin is just rolling in and getting value.
Yeah, Melvin really beat Araloo to the punch as far as the tier 3 was concerned. He got his units a lot earlier. He's got his third base up and running, and this looks like Melvin is going to be the one advancing into the grand finals, which means that we're going to have Mishi versus Araloo in a best of 5 coming up next, and that is going to be very exciting. These players are technically still in the game, but, you know, not to be the anti-hype guy, this is definitely a Melvin win here. I think everybody can agree with that.
Look at that, Mishi's trying to build up again. It's cute.
He's got a couple he's got a farm, he's got a couple warrens.
Please don't hurt me. No, you are dead.
And Melvin is gonna take it, so he gets to hang out, relax. He gets to watch the games, which is really important. He's gonna get to see Melvin and Araloo really bringing some of their top builds to the table, trying to qualify And, you know, that's huge. You know, I'm sure Melvin's the kind of guy who keeps up on all the VODs that gets produced anyways and stuff, but, you know, Airlu and Mishi can't really hold back anymore. You know, now you're in the best of 5s to try to get to the finals. You're against the top player. You're going to have to bring it here. So now Melvin just gets to watch, and he gets to say, okay, what are the strategies they're going to go for? And he can start thinking about how he might be able to react to that.
Speaking of looking at bots and stuff, I actually want to start doing analysis of games. Not like random games people sent me, but specifically of high-level tournament games, to really give the community an opportunity to really learn what's been going on in their players' minds and why they're so successful at what they're doing.
Yeah, you've talked about that before, and you've done it a few times. I'd love to see it, man. Like my replay show is more for fun. You know, I do some analysis, but it's mainly, hey, you got a cool game, send it to Delthius, and we'll watch it together, you know. But I would love to see something like where you just get really hardcore into the analysis and really talk about, like, small decisions that, you know, other people, like myself included, you know, might not pick up on. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, maybe I should ask Jend or Marker for some of the tournament replays they've been having around, possibly, and see if we can get a stream like that arranged. That's not going to be today, of course, because we have other things to stream today.
Yeah, we are getting through it, though. We've got a best of 5 on our hands, and then a best of 7 coming up next. I think the players are being respectful and waiting for me to give the go-ahead. I'm ready so that they can go ahead when they want.
Good. I like you doing tournament stuff while I'm, you know, and trying to entertain the audience. Usually it's the other way around when I invite you to cast for tournaments.
I know. Isn't it nice being the co-caster? Like, I don't get to do it very often, but every now and then I'll come on someone else's channel and cook. It's great, dude. You're sitting back, you got your legs up, you know, you're just like, hey, man, I just got to chill. But to be fair, Gentleman's doing most of the work. I just got to do a little behind the scenes. But we got, in the bottom, we got Airlu, and over to left, we've got Mishi. And this is kind of a weird map, man. There's a long rush distance because all these doodads, this little camp here in the middle.
Yeah, they're impenetrable wall right there, so instead we have to see them go around here. But this map also gives, like, it's very choke point heavy. Very. So look at Mishi having barbed wire. Barbed wire on such a choke point heavy map is going to be really good.
Yeah, the lizards are a little bit rough here for Mishi, though, because lizards really want a whole bunch of different attack paths and stuff. We don't really see that here. I mean, you can try to sneak around a couple different ways, but Airlu's a little bit nice and tight. And, you know, looking at this map, it looks weird up front, but I think once Airlu, if you kind of split this thing down the middle, you know, both sides get 4 gristmills, and both sides kind of have the gristmills with the high ground right there. So I don't hate it for either side. You know, it is a little wonky with all the terrain in the way, but overall, a pretty fair map for a match of this caliber.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting to see a lot of both wire and mine here, considering the choke point heavy nature of this game here. So we'll see if that is a thing.
Yeah, that is true. If this gets into a macro game and Mishi can just invest a bunch of barbed wire right there, that can be really annoying. Airlu does have moles and chameleons, which are decent to deal with that. Somebody in the chat asked if Mishi is old school. Yeah, man, Mishi's been around forever. Really, you, and Mishi, like, we've all been playing since launch, essentially. You know, I think Mishi came like slightly after launch, but not very far.
Yeah, Mishi has this tendency now to just disappear, though, and then suddenly appear with a lot of controversial meta opinions.
Yeah, Mishi just, like, keeps his eye on the Discord for the events to come in and dominate in, you know? Which is really cool, you know? There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's one of the reasons we organize so many events, man. It really gets players out of the woodworks to come back and play the game and have fun and remember what a good time Tooth and Tail is. And looks like Airlu is going to go for this more contestable base up front. I think that's a smart decision. It is risky, but if he can get this base established, the other bases are pretty much free. But Mishi with his signature snakes, man, he's already coming in here and getting some real damage done.
Look, if he keeps dancing around that mine is going to pop at some point and kill a snake. Yeah, I'm telling you. Like, if that mine pops off, the slow from days plus squirrel shooting at it is gonna kill a snake.
Yeah, and he must not know about it, otherwise he would have detonated on purpose by now.
Yeah, look at that. His snakes are so close to hitting him all the time. Just right beside it. honestly, one thing I'm not looking forward to next patch is that mines are going to have their detonation radius in like buffed again. Or two snake attacks on that mill again. That mill is gonna be super weak if this just get one more. Yeah, Arlo knows he has to really respect these snakes now and react to them. He cannot let them get more stacks down on this mill here, or else these snakes are gonna get value.
Yeah, he cannot lose it. And there's that mine hit you were talking about, but Airlu's unit's not quite in position. 1 HP on that snake, barely gets out of there alive.
Ooh, he does get to take down a few lizards here, but again, I think Mishi is in the commanding position here, with these snakes being able to provide really good pressure here that's really hard for Arlo to really respond to. Arlo's gonna try and get some mines down. He has to provide some cover for them. Ooh, down goes the snake attack, taking out one of the mines. The other one does go up though, and it's gonna help protect a little bit against the snakes. But again, it's not the best position mine for dealing with these snakes. Snakes can still jump in and get attacks on that mill.
Yeah, and on the backside of this, keep in mind too, Mishi's just got that entire second base fully saturated. This is rough for Airlu, you know. He wanted to get this base established earlier on, but this is the risk he took. Mishi is just punishing him very, very hard for this. If he would have taken his safer natural, he could have a bigger economy, but here we go. Airlu's not messing around anymore. He's going to launch right in here. A lot of these moles on the front lines doing a good amount of tanking, all the tier 2 trades, and Airlu, with a whole bunch of tier 1 left over, is moving in on these warrants.
Yeah, here comes the downside of snakes. Snakes just aren't as good in direct engagement like these as cams are. And with all the T1 to distract the snakes from poisoning the cams, it can take it a little bit too long to take down those cams. And now this massive T1 is just going to move in and put down a big hurting on Mishi. Mishi had the commanding lead here, but he might have gotten a little bit too greedy on that second base. It was 4 rounds ahead, but that's also 4 rounds down in military.
Yeah, the attack is continuing. Mishi is microing his heart off with this last snake. It is going to go down, though. And so much damage has been dealt here to Mishi. He's looking like he's about to tap out. That's going to be it. You know, really, once you start losing those tier 1 warrens, it just starts going from bad to worse. Because the way you defend against that is those tier 1 popping out, you know, and saving the day just in time. But as those warrens start going down, your reinforcements are so slowed, and the enemy just ends up getting you. So we're going to hop into the second match here. Let's see what these players are going to bring, if anything different. Now, one thing about Airlu that I think Mishi's got the advantage on a little bit, Airlu typically likes to run the same deck. You know, he's always running maybe slight variants of like the same thing, where Mishi really plays all sorts of different styles. But another thing as well is you know, Airlu's always on the ladder, he's always practicing, and Mishi mainly just hops in for events. So let's see what's going to happen on this time around. In the bottom, we've got Mishi, and up top, we've got Airlu. Mishi rocking that Badger Wolf here.
Indeed. Interesting map here. Again, it might be... you can go a lot of places, but all the water is going to probably make this another choke point heavy map, especially with this one little pathway between the two players that's probably going to become very heavily contested this game.
Yeah, this is a weird map, but I guess I feel like it's pretty even. You know, both players have access to 2 bases, and this little island over here, or I guess the landfall over here past the pond with the 2 mills. It's kind of like whoever takes over this area is going to get all this economy, you know. And so it's Indeed. Really, if this doesn't just end in an aggressive match, I think that's what's really going to be the pivot point.
Indeed, and again, that's going to be about contesting this middle here, and it's going to be really hard to get over to those mills, considering that all the water is just going to make it so hard to travel there.
Yeah, this is a really awkward ramp coming out of Mishi's base too. If you're thinking he's going to be trying to get over there, you know, a little bit later on, I feel like it's a slightly easier for Airlu. He's even got a back way near his main base with that little bit of ramp there. He can run over and down to like these center mills. So just a couple things to think about. But we've got some early warrants here, some pre-8 farm. Airlu scouted appropriately, should have enough to defend, but Mishi does have a couple squirrels. I think by the time he gets there, though...
Yeah, look at that. Mishi actually dodges around the mine there, but his second wave of squirrels has to hit it, and now Mishi knows that with one of his squirrels down from the mine, he cannot continue going on with this push here.
And this is rough because these moles with their crit damage on these structures, you know, now Mishi's warrens are out and exposed, not being guarded by his farm, so this counterattack from Airlu could possibly be deadly.
Indeed, and Mishi doesn't have any mines up yet. And see, look at that. Arlo is building another more, and he's really going hard in on it. Mishi can't really do anything but just go straight up for only more squirrels. He isn't at home though. Like, his warrens aren't with his pigs, which is going to help him deal damage to the moles, and he just has to kind of sit there. But Arlo cancels the attack for now. I think Arlo would have a good chance of getting some real damage done there, but he retreats for now and decides to not go for it.
Yeah, you know, better safe than sorry, I guess is what Araloo's thinking in this position. And he's still going to poke and prod with his units up front, but maybe he just wants to hang back, you know, maybe get into cams, maybe get into a second base, and try to see what Mishi's doing. And Mishi is building the skunks, so you know what? That attack might have worked because he's building that tier 2. Araloo's going to scout that now and kind of be probably a little bit upset about the decision making once he sees that. But you know what? You can't beat yourself up about things like that. You know, he acted correctly with the knowledge that he had there. So he's going to go for it now that he knows that tier 2 is on the way. He really doesn't want that warren to get up. He knows that that's going to make Mishi's army a lot stronger. And these moles start pounding through these warrens.
But now the mole are gone. He doesn't have the structure crit, but he does have the squirrel lead. Skunk comes in here now. Can the skunk actually manage to save the day? He's going to take a lot of damage and deal a lot of damage in the same breath. But look at that. Ooh, the warren goes down there. Mishi has the tech lead, but at what cost? He's lost almost all of his squirrel warrens, just building a second one now.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage Araloo got in there. Mishi does have the skunks, and he's got the farm, which I really like. If he could use these skunks, and he can stay defensive here, he does have some mines too. You know, he can maybe start crawling his way back into this. I like the 3 farms right here. That's really smart. It is a big investment, but you kind of got to go big or go home at this point as Mishi. He's got to do something to even back out that damage that Araloo just got done.
I would like to see 1 or maybe 2 more mines from Mishi, though. The Skunks are going to be really good defensively right now because Arlo does not have any T2, and Skunks defensively against T1 is just going to make it so hard to push in.
Good scouting here by Araloo. He's just kind of keeping an eye on what's going on. He has seen the farm count of his opponent, Mishi, as well. Well, has he? Yeah, Mishi's seen a little bit. He knows that the second base is on the way, but he's a little bit behind on the exact count. Araloo's got some Falcons, though, and he's going to go for it again.
Oh, look at those mines getting some T1 damage down. And now these Skunks are going to try and clean up here, but Arlo just managed to just take out 2 warrens and run away. So overall, I think that was pretty alright for Arlo in that case.
Yeah, he got some damage in. He traded pretty well, and then he just backed off. He kept his Falcons alive, and I think this is smart for Mishi. He's in desperate need of tier 1 warrens. Going to go ahead and get all those thrown down. And, you know, this is a nice little defensive spot for Mishi. Like you were saying earlier, I still wouldn't hate to see more mines. I think they can be very effective here to thwart Araloo. But this is where the game's going to get spicy, in my opinion, right? Like, the second bases are saturated. So if we want a third base, you know, we're going to have to fight for it over here in, like, the center right of the map. Looked like Araloo wanted to, Mishi wanted to sneak out of tier 3. Sold it, though, when Araloo scouted it and then places it back down. So Araloo probably not going to fall for that. He probably still knows Mishi wants a tier 3 at this point.
Indeed. It's interesting to see this match here in general. We haven't seen anyone go for the right side yet, and I think with both players having their second mill fully saturated at this point, that soon will be the time to try and go for this, or just fight it out and slowly starve. It's going to be really hard to push on this map because of the choke point heavy nature of it and all the mines that both Arlo and Mishi are going for, so Arlo is scouting over there. He might go for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate to see a third base, and Araloo's going to be the first one to commit to it. However, Mishi, he's got the Badger bought and paid for. He only needs about less than a minute here, and he's going to have a powerful force on his hand, and that's actually going to time up well with his Chameleons also. They need about less than a minute to be up in the board. So he's probably going to wait for his Chameleons, wait for his Badger, and try to shove out. Mishi is going to be able to come over here and scout. Oh no, he's just going to kill that cabin for the time being. But he's going to see this third base from Araloo, and he can't let that happen. You know, you absolutely cannot just let Araloo take all this wonderful farmland for himself.
Yes, Mishi's also starting to move out there. He did grab the campfire. Arlo has the mill there with no farm zone, so technically Mishi's right now ahead in economy by just a tiny bit. But Arlo has more potential economy, and now he's moving up here. He has the Badger. Badger's going to come in here. Mines are actually not being tripped. Oh, here comes the mine hit. One of them go down, and now we'll see that Badger can get some damage done here. It chews through all this army here, and look at it. Falcons go down, the cams go down.
3 HP, 1 HP! 1 HP Badger! Get that thing in the water, let that thing go for a swim. Mishi attacking him with his squirrels while letting that Badger heal up.
Someone clip that. That's a clip right there.
Clip it. Hashtag clip it. But the wolf is here for Airlu. And although that Badger won a serious engagement and crippled Airlu, you know, the wolf is not something you can bat an eye at. The wolf with the chameleon and falcon, very, very strong, can get in there and focus fire down the Badger very quickly. Mishi utilizing this water to help heal his Badger back up. It's going to get back up to full HP in no time. But Mishi never actually scouted this third base over here to the south. He never actually even scouted the rest of the map. So if Airlu starts getting away with that, that could be an issue.
Yeah, on the other hand, right now, Mishi's in a pretty good eco lead because he did take down those 4 farms. He's not going to pop that mine there for basically free because of the camps. Stealth really utilizing that pretty well.
Oh, this is getting intense, man. I can't believe that Badger lived at 1 HP. You know, if Mishi wins this game, you can definitely look back at that moment and probably you know, praise it for his win. And here comes Mishi with another attack. The wolf buff units are gonna be dealing out some extra damage here, but Mishi just has overwhelming numbers. Airlu knows what's up, and we got a series on our hands now, ladies and gentlemen. 1-1.
Hell yeah, let's see who could take down this third game here, and we'll be fighting against Melvin.
You know, Melvin is really surprisingly good, man. Relatively newer player, and already like at the top of the competitive scene. So I'm super excited to see him in the finals. You know, Airlu, I don't think it's fair to call Airlu a new player anymore. He's probably been in the scene for about a year now. And of course, Mishi is one of the old school greats.
Hi.
So it looks like Mishi wants a quick break. I'll hang on one second. Let me do a little.
A quick break would sound nice to me too, because I do need to go to the bathroom.
Yes, guys. So we're gonna take a 2-minute break. Mishi requested a quick break, and us streamers could always use one as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute or two.
Come on, Mishi. You know, coaching isn't allowed during tournaments. Bad. No, I'm kidding. Have a good time. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Goodbye for now.
Okay, guys, we are back. Sorry about that. Player needed a break, and us streamers took advantage of that as well. Hope everybody's having a good time out there on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. Super hyped. I don't think Jet is back just yet, but that's okay. I can solo cast for a minute or two. I'm sure he'll be back any second now.
How dare you lie about me? I'm right here.
Oh, you were waiting the whole time. You didn't even move. You just sat there and stared blankly at the screen with your arms crossed, just waiting.
Sure. I was waiting. I put you in this trap. I knew you'd say I wasn't back, but I knew I could call you out. I also wrote this little thing real quick because why not put this in chat? I had a little small idea for that, so let's see how chat responds to that. But right now, let's get into the game. And in the bottom of the game, playing as common folk here, as Hopper, we have Arlo in the red. And in the left side of the map here, we have Mishi in the yellow.
Nice big map. It's a nice big map here, and it's a little bit linear to both players' bases. But keep in mind, there is this little sneaky through the woods and through the swamp kind of path as well. That maybe we can see some lizards taking later on in the match. So I always love looking for little things like that. And
yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with the lack of open maps this tournament, though, because this is a little bit like choke points once more.
Yeah, pretty linear maps for the most part, but I am really glad that we've seen balanced maps so far. Like here, for example, both players have 3 bases, and there's this 12 o'clock base as a 4th. That's like, okay, if the game gets to a macro game, whoever ends up securing that's probably going to take it.
I think Mishi's advantage for securing that, though, but overall, yeah, I'd say this is a pretty fair map.
Yeah, I'd agree. If anything, I would give Mishi a slight advantage on this map, but not a whole lot. It's definitely playable for Airlu here. And Airlu sneaky with some moles over here in the back. Does Mishi see it? He does. Unfortunately, Airlu built that one tile too close to Mishi's base and right in his vision. But he's still going to force a sell, which is something, you know. And Airlu does have 8 farms already, so it's not like he's delaying his economy to try this. Needs to be careful, though. He's going to lose 16 food. Again, not the end of the world.
Yeah, Arlo has been talking about this in Discord a lot, where you can try and snipe the 8th corner farm while still building your own farm with a mole. And I don't think it's broken. Like, you're not getting that big an advantage of it, and you were forced to pick moles to do it. So, honestly, I think that's fair.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot less oppressive than the old school moles. Which, like, defined build orders, you know. You had to go... You remember the back of the day you, like, had to go 5-farm Warren? Or else you could just die?
I remember having to teach people lessons in how to counter mole rushes.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And an attack from Mishi here, going to get thwarted from Airlu fairly easily. However, a little bit of no harm, no foul, in my opinion. I think both players are still in pretty even spots this game, but Mishi's got to be careful. These forward mills that he keeps, or these forward warrens, rather, he keeps building. It's really easy for mole players like Airlu to punish that.
Yeah, and Arlo's just going to get straight in there, and he's going to have the squirrel advantage now, and he's just ignoring the warren completely, and now he's going to take it down, and Mishi build that mill that's 60 food that's not really defending him right now, and those moons are just going to keep going in, get some more value, take down another warren goes down. This seems like Arlo's getting close to ending this set now.
It's actually a best of 5, though, so Mishi's still got a chance, but yeah, a quick decisive victory there from Airlu on the back of Mishi's counterattack just kind of not working out for him. And really, I think the big issue of that game was Mishi building his warrens up front like that, you know, allowed Airlu to really, you know, capitalize on Mishi's failed attack.
There you go. Sorry, I had to write something there, just a response from Casino. But yeah, I guess it's sort of like a player codex thing I'm trying to do here. Alright, in the bottom side here, bottom left, we have Arlo playing as Hopper. And in the top right, we have Mishi playing as Archimedes. What is this desert we have up in the northwest here?
Oh yeah, very blank. You were talking about open maps, man. Now you finally got one. And there's a lot of mills here. And yeah, it kind of favors Mishi, but again, 9 times out of 10, we're really not getting past 3 bases, so I think Airlu's just fine. Well, I guess if you give this one near the water to Airlu, that's 4 bases for each. But again, I think you're happy as either player on this one.
Yeah, I honestly, I would want to see this desert in the northwest just being put in the middle of a map, please. That'd be funny. Man, I should make that a custom map now.
Oh, dude, I love some of the custom maps in the scene. We need to do another custom tour. We had one not too long ago, but, you know, custom maps in Tooth and Tail, I think, is a little bit of a underexplored avenue, because, yeah, the RNG maps are really cool, but, you know, there's definitely some warrant for, like, standard symmetrical maps, and we've had a lot of really cool, fun games on stuff like that, too.
Indeed, I do look forward to people just... I think Tooth and Tail, despite having been out for as long as it has now, still has a lot of, like, discovery to do. There's still a lot of discovery to do when it comes to strategies and all, and I think people can definitely make something new happen. Just today, I already found something that I found pretty interesting with punishing T2s with 4 mil plus MD. It was really fun.
So since this is a little bit, I mean, I wouldn't consider this a crazy large map, but it's like medium to large, and we're seeing some macro openings from both sides, but, you know, that's another thing, too, that, like, standardized custom maps can be good for, is opening up new strategies. Like, Brood War, for example, is balanced on that, you know, like, maybe there's an underplayed unit in the current meta, but, oh, you know, on this map, it's actually really good to go Balloon for these reasons, and you did it, man. Thank you so much for the sub, dude. I appreciate the support. I hope you're enjoying the tournament here.
Yeah, I just pointed that out. I was just about to point that out for you, but you found out yourself that you got yourself a new sub. Congratulations, Delthius.
So we've got some tier 2 on the way, so this is a typical macro opening for both sides. Lots of greed, and this is kind of Mishi's wheelhouse, you know. He knows how to outgreed his opponents. He is not shy at all about just slamming down that farm button and fully saturating up new bases.
Boom, farms, let's go. But yeah, speaking of custom maps, I would be interested in doing more of those tournaments. It's just that I haven't really seen enough of, like... I would love to see more top-tier players join them. Maybe I'm just doing them at the wrong time or something, or maybe people just aren't that interested in them. I don't know. I'd have to see what the community says to that.
I remember we had some top-tier players. I remember some really cool plays from Amari that had to do with, like, artillery cannons, like, back in the day on one of the custom ones. But yeah, it's been fun, man. I think people would join up for sure. But we've got, let's see, tier 2 pretty much established here. Airlu going a little more greedy on that end. You know, Airlu's kind of sneaking out. I actually was looking at Airlu thinking it was Mishi because he went for snakes first. And he's starting to harass.
Yeah, look at that. Arlo is getting some snake poking revenge for that game 1 annoyance, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and so far it's been doing okay. Mishi is getting up to that fully saturated second base. So we've got a proper macro match in our hands, but look at this. Mishi is going to move in. Airlu does have a mine or two on the field here. He's got the tier 2 advantage. But Mishi is not going to overly commit. He's just going to back out for now. I would love to see Wolf buff Badger, man. That would be super cool, and here comes the Wolf.
Alright, yeah, Wolf down, and with Wolf getting it down first, he can also use that Wolf to buff a Badger warrant and really get that Badger out at 25 seconds earlier, which is kind of a big deal. So, naturally, going for the Wolf first makes sense, and then getting the Badger later.
Yeah, not to mention you're making your Badger get out faster if you put the Warren right next to your farms, and you're buffing up the farms as well. But Airlu is moving in. He's going to hard commit on the back of seeing Mishi go for the tier 3. And man, this is the death of me in all kinds of ladder matches. I feel like I'm safe. I waited. You know me. I want to get my tier 3 out as fast as I can. But no, I wait. I got 2 bases. I got plenty of stuff. I throw down the tier 3. And then this happens. And they blast in here and mess me up. And it looks like Mishi is going to hold for now. Airlu keeping his snakes alive. But
yeah, Mishi's gonna hold for now, but that's a lot of damage Arlo still got in there, and I like Arlo really got some good positioned attacks down here. Mishi was expecting to be attacked from the left, and in came Arlo from the right here, and really caught Mishi's army kind of off guard.
And Mishi looks like he's sold down on a tier 1 Warren just to keep that Wolf up and running. Meanwhile, Airlu is on his third base here. He's throwing down some emergency mines to help thwart against any kind of counter aggression. Mishi does have 4 cams though, and 4 cams is a nice amount to like solid snake around the map and start harassing Warrens and farms and such.
Do.
Colonel. Now the thing is, though, he might just run right into these mines trying to do some moves like that. For now, he's gonna hang back. The wolf is about to be up. He's gonna be happy about that.
Mishi grabbing a campfire here with 8 farms, but Arlo has his third mill, and he's going to be ahead on economy for now. And he's going to go up on 6 camps. Mishi does have the wolf advantage here, so if he buffs his farms, he's not going to be behind on eco for now, actually. But here comes Mishi. He's going to run into the mines, 1 down. And that's going to make him retreat, and now Arlo knows Mishi's looking for something after that 1 mine pop.
Yeah, and this is a lot of mines here for Airlu. You know, 240 food. Sucked into those things, and if I guess like 2 or 3 of them get some real nice connections, it might be worth it. But you know, that's a big investment, man. That's a lot of mines on the field that may or may not be directly contributing to engagements here.
Indeed. There's some suggestions that I should do my custom map tourney much like 21 gen tourneys are done, and I think I should maybe do that. That's not a bad idea, actually. So
like a weekly, you know, meet each other up, play a couple rounds, submit the matches, kind of thing.
Yeah, that sort of things. That would actually not be that bad an idea.
Yeah. I think players really enjoy that format because we've got so many players from all over the world. Sometimes it's really hard for everybody to make it live. Like, it's 3:30 in the afternoon for me here, but it's like 9:30 at night for you, you know?
Yeah, I think we'll see if Gent likes the suggestion that I steal some time after 21 Clues to sneak in a custom map tourney with some inspiration when it comes to the tourney style from him.
Yeah, I think it would honestly be a good time to try something like that. Like, I know Mocha's talking about TnT Championship League Season 2, but I don't think that's for another couple months. I could be wrong. As far as I know, Premium Bo's got his coach and beginner tournament that he's been planning. So we've got that coming up, but I think that's going to be like a one-day thing. I'll actually need to look at that. I need to plug that while I got everybody here together.
That sounds good. I kind of do want to do a regular sort of bracket tournament. We could do maybe even double elimination, but with Jen's style of, you know, doing replay casting, I think that would be a fun idea, actually.
Yeah, I'd be down, man. If you needed help casting, you know it.
Yeah.
But all right.
I could still keep my precious custom map elo rating. Yeah, let's go for Delthius after this. But now we have to talk about this attack between Mishi and Arlo here. In comes all the cams bashing together, face to face. Both sides have a wolf here, but it seems like Arlo is starting to get the commanding lead in this fight here. He just has a little bit more power, and down goes Mishi's mill. Now Arlo is free to keep pushing, and Mishi surrenders. Isn't this end of the set?
Yeah,
3-1 for Arlo?
That's 3-1 for Airlu there. So that means we are going to the grand finals, which is going to be Airlu versus Melvin. So congratulations to Airlu for winning that set, and we need Melvin Fro to get back here. And while we do that, yeah, let me look up the details on Premium Bo's event. Where is that at? Oh wait, no, these players, they're too fast for me, man. Melvin was ready.
Sounds good.
So here we go, guys. This is the big finale, the best of 7, to determine who the winner is. All these players are getting a little bit of cash prize, but whoever wins this gets an extra 25 euros, courtesy of gentlemen. So we got some cash prize on the line here. Got bragging rights, and let me see if I can find. Actually, might just have it on the stream. Yeah. So if you look under the stream you're watching right now, guys, there's some links to Premium Bo's 2v2 Bazaar Tournament, the training arc. There's a link to the Discord, and there's a link to the Google Doc. And that's actually coming up next weekend, next Saturday. We're gonna do this, so make sure to sign up for that, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Essentially, the idea is we're assigning like new players with expert players. So I really love these kinds of formats. They really encourage players from all skill ratings to get involved. So don't be shy, especially if you're a newer player or maybe somebody watching who hasn't played in a while. And I'm sorry, 1 second.
Well, if it's like a pro player and a new player, we could go for Jet and Jet as the pro player. We could go for Delthius is the second.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that, you bastard.
I couldn't resist.
kind of set it up for that one. But yeah, no, guys, please sign up for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Hosted by Premium Bow and Marmu as well, and Black Cats. Those are the organizers. It looks like me and Marmu are gonna be doing the streaming for it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Now that I have the attention of a 32 people crowd, if signups are still open for that tournament, y'all could hit me up if you need a partner in it.
You should go ahead and sign up for it, Jet. I think all you have to do is go into the sign up channel and say sign me up. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, but I need someone to sign up with.
Ooh, do you get to choose? Let me see. I'm reading the rules right now. Best of 3 matches, losers brackets. Teams must consist of a learning player and experienced player. Each player will have their decks. The experienced players have their decks chosen for them. Yeah, that's right. That's how P-Boop's spicing it up. He's intentionally giving the better players bad decks. That's the whole.
No.
Tournament organizers will determine if a player is considered apprentice or master. When a team is approved by the TOs, the team will then sign up on challenge. Master players need to rely on instructing their apprentice to win. Every round, the masters will be assigned a secret bad deck they have to use during that round. The community and competitors can provide suggestions for the bad decks. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Don't be shy. Sign up for that. But let's get into the event we're currently at right now, the 21 Clues Grand Finals. We're at the best of 7 here, guys. We've got Araloo. Nobody is surprised to see him here. However, Melvin Fro, the underdog, working his ass off, becoming a top player in a very small amount of time. Can he get himself a tournament win here? Let's find out. And he's got the Fox.
1v1, double T free. Let's go.
In the bottom, we've got Melvin, and up top, Araloo. And this map is kind of open. It's a little bit open here.
I am definitely looking forward to seeing this game between the two, and I want Melvin to get those double T free sub. That will be excellent. That will be a fun game. But we'll see what happens here between Melvin and Araloo in this very important match.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is Owl Fox is not necessarily like an Owl Wolf or a Wolf Badger that I think is designed to really synergize with one another. I think it's like having the rock, paper, scissors, like having 2 options of that, If they're going Badger, I can go Fox. Maybe if they're going like Boar or something, I can go Owl, or you know what I'm saying? Or if they have their own Fox, I can go Owl, that kind of thing.
I also just think that Fox and Owl have some synergy together, because one of the threats to Owl here is units like Falcon and unit like Badger that both can really deal a lot of damage to the mice. So Fox coming in and sniping both those Falcons and Badgers does help a lot here with getting Owl to do its job.
Yeah, that is true. Not to mention the Fox is a great like early to mid game unit where you can still kind of scale into the late game with the Owl. Premium Bo's in chat saying you need to sign up with a teammate. So hey man, Jet's throwing himself out there. Who's gonna be Jet's teammate? Who's it gonna be, man? We need a newbie to compete with Jet.
Yeah, if you want to be bullied, play with me, you can hit me up on Discord.
Alright, so a little bit of a macro opening for both sides so far. 8 farm doubles into some gristmills. I really love this opening. I think it's super solid, super safe. If your opponent is really all-inning you, you lost the 60 food on the gristmill, but you can still hold if you got enough squirrels and stuff like that. If they're not all-inning you, then great, you're in an awesome position to start building some farms. And so far, just mirror pretty safe openings from both players. Araloo's moving out with some squirrels here, but I don't think he's going to be able to get anything done. I think he's just kind of poking and prodding. But it actually forced Melvin to sell the farm. So that is some vicarious damage in a way. Melvin's panicking a little bit, maybe because he saw the moles, and he's thinking, moles means all in.
Indeed, that usually can be the case, but in this case, I don't think it is from Araloo here. Araloo can still use them to run pressure, but Araloo seems to be more interested in getting that second mill with a few farms on it instead.
Yeah, now Araloo out of this opening is going to enjoy a little bit of faster farms, but Melvin's making up for that. He does have 3 farms on his second base. Airlu just throwing those down now as well, so we're in a pretty even spot here. Nothing crazy. And tier 2 on the way for Airlu. Melvin should be getting his started here soon. That could possibly be an advantage, going towards our common folk player.
Indeed. Again, and all these passive games happening so far in this tournament. I still want to see some more aggressive plays. Lots of. I haven't seen any. Have we ever seen a single 1-mil game this? Yeah, we have.
Yeah. Airlu versus Mishi had some aggressive matches.
I forgot that for a second, but I want to see T2 aggression. Come on.
Double cams from Melvin. If he can get away with it, like a Scooby-Doo villain, man, he's gonna be in a good spot.
Oh, look at these squirrels out of position, though. They're going to be caught by Melvin. Melvin has 12 squirrels to the 9, so he catches them out of position, gets just a little bit of value in there, which is pretty good. Pretty nice play from him.
I'm getting worried about the 4 cams, and Melvin, even knowing that Airlu never leaves home without his chameleons, he's got toads, so if he can get up 4 cams, Airlu's going up to 6. How many toads should you build against that? Do you need like 6 or 9 to just delete all
Against 4 cams, I'd say 9 toads will help you soften up those 4 cams pretty well, but, wait, what are we talking about again? Yeah, against 6 cams, yeah, you'd probably go for like 12 toads in that case, I think. Again, I'm not very experienced when it comes to actually nuking cams with toads, so I'd probably need a more experienced player when it comes to that to give me the answer. Maybe Gent knows something about that. Yeah, let's hear from Gent in the chat. He can give us some information on this.
So we got an owl coming out from Melvin. Kind of interesting decision. I would have expected him to go for the fox a little bit earlier on, since it will have a bigger impact directly. But no, instead going to go for owl. Maybe he figures this game is going to stay pretty lax, pretty macro. But I don't know, man. Airlu is not the kind of guy to sit around. He knows when to hold him, when to fold him. He's got a lot of chameleons here. He's not going to give Melvin all the breathing room in the world. It looks like he might be thinking about getting aggressive. And Melvin with 15 toads on the way. Man, I was thinking like 6 toads or something.
Oh, no. I was thinking 12, but 15? Sure thing. Let's go for it. Toads are getting up. Toad gets good explosions here, actually. Deal a lot of damage. Will it be enough to win this? We'll see. Toads now coming in late and are not getting that much damage down, but now, see, I think these toads have actually gotten some pretty good value, bringing them to victory here for Melvin.
Yeah, Airlu was in a very big army value lead before that engagement specifically happened. Keep in mind, Melvin snuck out the owl during all that too. 360 food invested into that owl, and it is on its way right now. Airlu losing all those chameleons. It's going to take almost a full minute for those to hit the board again. And meanwhile, by the time Airlu's got his cams up ready to roll, Melvin's going to have his owl out to start that value train.
Indeed, now Owl will hit the board in about 20 seconds now, and I like the comp from Melvin here. I think he should go a little bit further up on toads, maybe get those 12 toads going, as I've been talking about, against Arlu's comp of 6 cams here. He has seen there's a lot of cams, and he should be expecting them coming back again. So hitting both cams and moles with that is going to be huge value. And he's going back to the 12 toads here, and I do like him just going for a lot of toads. I think toads were definitely overlooked a lot of the start of the patch, even by players like me.
Ooh, those mine hits! Oh my god!
Oh, the toads go in and do a
lot of damage. Damn, dude.
Brutal. The mine bait from Arlo, it might actually be what ends the game here. Huge amount of value from those 3 or 4 mines that just popped there.
Clip it.
Melvin got baited. Clip it.
Hashtag
clip it. Like the one health. Clip it like the 1 health badger. If that hasn't been clipped, I am disappointed.
Oh my god. Those mines were brutal. Airlu taking a very decisive win. And it's so crazy how even that looked. And it looked pretty good for Melvin, to be honest. But, man, 4 mines later, and the army is in shreds. And we're hopping into match number 2.
That was a really strong mine bait from Arlo there.
And again, Airlu is known to kind of take his signature deck, so Melvin is very aware of this. Melvin's the kind of guy who's watching streams, who's paying attention to the scene. He knows what Airlu plays. He's probably played him 100 times on the ladder. And over on the right, we've got Melvin, and his opponent to the left, Airlu, on this nice, watery, rainy map here.
Yeah, he switched the fox up for a boar this time, but he's going for the boar wolf and a boar owl now, so that's interesting to see. I think the boar's actually pretty alright against cams, mostly because if you get the boar into the middle of the enemy army and just explode, it'll actually deal huge amount of damage to the cams and get some value in.
Yeah, and Melvin is this map's a little bit rough for him. It's a shame in this like 1 or 2 o'clock position. It looks like the map gen thought about putting a mill there and didn't. You know, it's like all open for one. And meanwhile, Airlu's got 3 bases, nice and tight over here on the high ground. Lots of water to defend it. And yeah, Melvin's got a natural, and you really can't complain too much as long as you got that. And I guess he can expand down to this 6 o'clock and try to take that as a third. But overall, for the size of this map, there's not a lot of mills. And you know what? Yeah, I guess it is pretty even because Melvin should get that 6 o'clock base. But I'd still definitely rather be an Airlu's spot here. And look at this little cabin. How would you rate this cabin here, man, in the middle? That's a cabin.
It's another private island cabin, isn't it? Well, we have seen the ultimate private island cabin once, and I do think I maybe got that clip, or I think I got a picture of that I put on a Discord. But this cabin here is pretty alright here. Got a lot of water around it. There's just one problem with it. The island that it has for itself is pretty small, and on top of that, it is between 2 warring factions that are likely to go and destroy it at some point in this game. So, overall, aesthetically really good, but small island and bad positioning between 2 warring factions. I'll give it a solid 153.
Not bad, not bad. So since this map is so large and awkward, it looks like we are going to have another macro start here. I'm sorry, Jet, no 4 farm doubles this game or anything like that. And let's see how the players want to take it from here. You know, essentially it's going to be a big game of scouting how greedy your opponent's being, trying to stay 1 step ahead. You know, getting your tier 2 out, maybe trying to build a tier 3 but hide it somewhere. And let's see how these guys want to take it.
Indeed, let's see how it goes. Oh, look at the greed from Arlo here, going for 6 farms already. And he's only on 1 T1 Warren. Melvin is not that much better, honestly. He's still going for 5 here. So we're going to see that very heavy macro here. I think that Melvin is actually going to have a pretty good shot at winning against Arlo in the late game. Having those 12 toads, 12, 15, maybe even 18 toads against Arlo is going to blow those cams out of existence. And on top of that, having Boar that can do the same to the cams, along with Owl and access to his own cam Falcons there, it's going to be pretty good against Arlo.
Yeah, and let's see how they're going to get there is the big question. I mean, with this map being so wonky, you know, both players actually doing very mirror stuff, to be honest. Getting up to the second base economy fully saturated very quickly, and even throwing down mirrorly timed tier 3s blind. So it really shows the players are on the same wavelength. And again, this is the phase of the game where it's going to get awkward for Melvin because his third base is just out into 6 o'clock position. Airlu even took a couple scout mines down here. A small investment to know exactly when Melvin takes it, which is right now. Airlu could even just build some moles over here in the corner and deny that. And this is where I'm getting worried for Melvin, man. I wonder if more of an all-in timing would have been better, because if Airlu can just keep being annoying, keep shutting down this 6th base with moles or something, you know, what are you going to do against that?
Indeed. Oh, look at that. He's actually going for the moles you were speaking of. He can see that. He can see the mill easily. He has 2 mines here for the purpose of just scouting it, so yeah, in comes the mole, and they start smacking on that mill. Melvin under attack.
Now Melvin is going to get the boar up with a couple cams, and you know, maybe he needs to take over this cabin island and start positioning his units there. You know, to be able to...
Yeah, just rule the middle of the map here could be pretty good for him. Arlo has Falcons right now up, which is going to be really good over the water, though. But so is Boar with his AoE and all the slow from the water. So if Melvin can get map control here, get the bottom mill, and then get some good army going, I think Melvin can actually take this game. Oh, look at that cabin farming the mole.
New Cabin getting a kill.
Oh, he doesn't sell them all?
Yeah, Airlu ran down there, but he must have been trying to hit something with the timing. He didn't want to let his money stay, or maybe he just decided to keep the moles there and is just going to wait for Melvin to take the base again to deny it again, like I was talking about. And then slowly over time, his third base just kind of wins the game.
Melvin isn't going to have a defensive response, so he's going to aggressive. He has a lot of toads here that's going to be able to blow any camps out of the water here. But look at Arlo. Arlo has responded to this with 8 falcons and a wolf.
Yeah, Melvin needs to be careful.
Good explosion down, and this board tanks a lot of damage. It's still alive on 7 HP, gets the grill a lot, gets to blow up on the camp. And look at that. These squads are now going to prove a big challenge for these falcons to get through. Is it enough, though? All these toads here are not being very useful in the follow-up, but he's kind of going to go blowing up on the Warren here, take on the Camp Warren, deal some damage to Arlo, but Melvin is going to be forced to run away now.
And he's just going to tap out. He realizes that third base from Airlu is probably going to carry him to the victory. And that puts Airlu up 2-0 in this best of 7. And psychologically, that's a rough spot to be in, man. Melvin really needs to get a point up on the board. You know, now Airlu can start taking risks. You know, he can start doing crazy builds. I don't really think that's the type of player that Airlu is. He's generally somebody who just really understands the meta and knows how to play standard and up front. You never lose against Airlu and get the feeling like he cheated you or you know what I mean, or you got a cheap win. Like, he's always just a really bruiser mid-game style player. And in the bottom, we do have Airlu, and over to the left, we've got Melvin.
Well, there are some times against Arlo where you get that good old mole rush. Oof.
Yeah, that is true. And now Airlu can maybe take some risks and do some strategies like that. I've played games against Airlu. He was really the first guy with the newer moles to make me realize, like, oh, you know, a really, really fast mill is no longer safe now. You know, like 8-farm mill, you know, because the moles could just kill it.
Yeah, I see Arlo's been complaining a lot about the moles, but honestly, I love how moles have been feeling this patch here. They really give us more aggressive option. I think that's something Tooth and Tail has been lacking. So the aggressive options that they do give is, in my mind, something that really makes the game better.
Yeah, definitely. You want there to be. I think the meta is always most healthy when it's not just always like, let's get up to 8 farms and take it from there, you know? Like, when there are some pre-8 farm options that are actually viable, it can be a lot of fun, and it can lead to a lot of mind games, and that classic, you know, aggressive versus defensive versus economic openings in RTS games and how those interact. Really, really important part, for sure. So nothing crazy yet this game. This map does look a little bit nicer for Melvin. Again, the map is a bit favored for Airlu if it goes crazy long, but Melvin does have easy access to 3 bases, which is always nice.
You know what I'm looking forward to next patch as an aggression buff? MG buff.
Yeah, aren't they getting more HP? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, I would love to see that, mostly because I want to use MGs aggressively. Yeah. Most people be like, defensive MG, but no, I want to see that stuff being played aggressively. Give me that.
Yeah, I feel like MGs have fallen out of the meta, not for any fault of their own, but because of moles, because of structure crit on moles and toads, you know? Because MGs, even defensively, like, are not a bad option. They build so fast. If you're scouting well, you can kind of build them in a pinch, you know, or have them to help you sneak out a quick fox or something like that. And then, of course, being able to get on the aggressive with them as well is always fun. And Melvin building some warrens up here on the high ground.
I think one thing that MGs are going to be really good against that have been pretty popular as of late are chameleons, actually. Chameleons just getting walled by MGs is a joy to watch, and I think that MGs are going to be actually doing pretty well if we can just buff them a little bit and give them room to develop and grow into the meta. But here we come an engagement here from Melvin for this running straight into Arlo's army here with these lizards. He does get to take a farm down, but he loses all of his lizards. So I'd still say maybe it was worth for Melvin, just because of the damage he did to the farm along with a lot of Arlo's army here.
Yeah, not the most cost-effective trade in the world, but maybe everything balanced out. He did kill the farm, but what I am worried a little bit about for Melvin are these forward warrens. You know, after you really commit in with that kind of all-in lizard attack, you leave yourself open to a counter, but it doesn't look like Airlu moved out in time, to be honest. Melvin's put together a nice big pack of lizards yet again, and here he comes on the natural, gonna try to get some more farm damage on. Airlu is home just in time to sell that farm if necessary, that mine, weakening up these lizards as they come in, and Airlu just cleaning up house here.
Indeed. Now Arlo here is he has more warrants down there, so it looks like he's maybe be going for some offense here. He is getting some mines down pretty aggressively, and he's looking to push. If he can use any advantage he has right now to get a push on, it will be really hard for Melvin to defend. Lizards, again, known for not being that good on defense.
Yeah, and again, since these warrants were placed forward, you don't get that extra pig help. And if Airlu ends up taking this engagement, it's going to put Melvin so far behind in the game. He absolutely can't just lose all of these structures, but I guess Melvin's kind of decided, you know what, I can't take that fight. I'm going to have to go ahead and just lose those warrants and try to play from behind. But now Airlu is building up Mass Tier 1. He's got a hell of an economy to back it up, and he's even got the Big Daddy Boar on the way.
Indeed, he scouts Melvin, trying to get an approach going on here. And he's going to take the fight in the open against Melvin. Melvin doesn't have the armor to actually fight Arlo right now, even though Arlo is building a boar.
Yeah, this is kind of going from bad to worse here for Melvin.
But Melvin is trying to flank around here.
All these mines that make it difficult, and Airlo knows what's up. It's almost as if he was baiting it a little bit. The units are on the way back, but Melvin will be able to take this mill out.
Oh, is he going to be full base race? He's going to go for the second mill here? No, he's going to go for the boar one. He's forcing the sell from Arlo. Now he's going to go for the second one here. Take out a pig, take out 2 pigs, and then run right away. He's done a lot of damage, massive damage to Arlo's economy here. But on the other hand, his army is not looking that strong compared to Arlo. Arlo might be able to get a counterattack going. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, maybe you just counterattack in with your squirrels and leave your moles at home or something, because here comes Melvin again. He realizes he's not going to be able to take this army in a heads-up fight. He is just looking for the base race, just looking for the backstab. Going to pick up some warrants here, but he needs to get out. You know, smart decision-making for Melvin there to run away. Otherwise, he would have got busted, and he really can't afford to just be trading lizards for warrants. He's got to get more damage done than that if he's going to lose this whole army.
Indeed, and now he's going in again here, trying to go for the top mill here. No, he's going to go straight for the base, but ooh, these mines. The mines. 1 mine goes down, 2 mines, and now this Melvin just takes the straight up engage, but he can't because of all the mines that just hit him. Even with the moles gone, it's not going to be worth it, and Melvin lost all of his lizards, and now it's looking really dark for him.
Yeah, and those moles from Airlu knocking out one of the bases from Melvin, and also happened to be the base that he was building farms on. You know, those bases that he keeps building around the map are partially to help win the base race, but you know, unfortunately for him, man, he lost the one he actually had pigs on as well. Melvin's going to try to take this fight, but this looks like we're going to be hopping into match number 4 with Airlu with the 3-0 lead, unless Melvin can make something happen with just 3 lizards, but I don't think it's going to happen here.
No, definitely not. You see, Arlo has been splitting his army really smartly, going for the moles on the mills to abuse the structure quit, while the squads have been playing defense all that time. Well played from Arlo on this one.
Yeah, great job. These mines and being able to split the squirrels and moles have really shut down this lizard strategy here. And this is it, man. You know, Melvin's gonna have one more chance, but it is the biggest long shot in the world. This looks like a nice, clean victory for Airlu from here, and no more gristmills on the map for Melvin, and that's gonna be it. We're gonna be hopping into the 4th game, and if Airlu wins this next one, that's it.
There you go. 3rd game goes here to Airlu. Are we going to see a 4-0 sweep? Do you think so?
You know, it's a real possibility. I hope not, man. I hope Melvin can bring it back and put some points on the table here. He knows what he's going to be up against. He knows Airlu's deck. He knows Airlu's playstyle. Let's see if he can crack the code. You know, I like this playstyle from Airlu. It reminds me a lot, even though they're different decks, but kind of the same type of player that this guy was in his prime, where, you know, kind of the guy that seeks the holy grail of Tooth and Tail decks, right? You know, he's kind of identified, you know what, this is the deck, and I can beat anything with it as long as I play smart, and therefore, I'm just going to play this one deck.
Indeed. You know what? We might also see Melvin just being like, "Zzz, download complete."
Man, let's see it.
That'd be fun to see a reverse sweep at this point.
All right, guys, this could be match point. Down here in the bottom, it's Araloo, and up top to the left, it is Melvin. I mean, it is match point, but this could be the final match is what I meant. You guys get it. You know.
I think this is a brutal map for Melvin. I think Arlo is sitting on another advantageous map for him right here.
Yeah, this looks rough. I mean, being on the low ground right here next to all this high ground is always difficult. You know, Melvin does have some close mills. You know, maybe if I'm Melvin, I'm expanding right against the edge of the map here. You know, 1, 2, 3, down to the 9 o'clock. And I've got okay access to 3 bases. But again, I'd definitely like to be in Araloo's spot. He's got 4 bases right here in his little acre of land. And he's got high ground and he's got water all around it. But this isn't an RNG complete defeat, in my opinion. I think this map is playable for Melvin, for sure.
Indeed, and I do want to see him go for some. It's gonna be possible to push in Melvin with the. No, I mean Arlo with his deck. I think that the T1 heavy decks could do pretty well against Arlo, countering the enemy camps here and moles with Toads. Again, I think Toads could be the key to beating Arlo in these matches.
Yeah, and Melvin almost won that first game with the Toads, right? Like, he basically he was about to win that game, and then he got baited into those mines. You know, but we saw those Toads really perform well. So, quick expansion here from Araloo. Scouting mine as well. Melvin with 8 farm. Double opening. I wonder if he saw... look at this. He's going to try to punish this this fast mill.
Yeah, he is actually moving a little to get around the mine, maybe? Yeah, he's ready to push in here. Here comes the mole.
2 squirrels on the way to defend.
Ready to respond. And Melvin decides to run away. He pops a mine there, so now that mine is gone. And he's just going to retreat and get a mill of his own, deciding that he cannot punish Arlo's forward expansion this time.
Yeah, and he's just going to try to get his own base established. Araloo here with a little bit of a head start on that second base economy. He got 1 farm up and running on the way. But again, it is still pretty close. Melvin did go ahead and get rid of that mine. 1 for 1, though, with a squirrel is about the best you can ask for as a defender player outside of, like, sweeping it for with a tier 2 for free.
Indeed, it's pretty alright to get that away because it does weaken Arlo's map control slightly. But look at Arlo here posing aggressively. I don't think he has the army to be doing this though. And look at that, Melvin is being like, yeah, I can go in here. And he loses his commander though, but he does get value. Arlo takes the fight anyways, but I don't think he has the army, even without Micro, to actually be taking this fight. And it looks like Melvin is going to win the fight on Micro.
Yeah, I think Melvin's just tired of Araloo coming in here with those extra moles every single game and knocking him out because he's got a few extra tier 1s from the fast moles. So this time around, he had his own moles when Araloo was ready to come in and contest. Big mine hit right there, though, getting a lot of damage done. And Melvin getting a little bit too cocky here. Gonna get cleaned up on this attack, and now this is looking a little bit scary. Araloo has a lot of tier 1 here. Melvin doesn't have much at all on the board. He built a lot of farms. Let's see if he can hold.
Yeah, he's going to sell both of those farms here to not lose these squirrels here. He's going to try and use this mill here as a defensive way of walling out any damage, and Arlo can't really push through that, so he's going to retreat for now. But it's going to be interesting seeing where this game is going to go after that failed attack from Melvin.
Araloo's got some chameleons here on the way. He's probably going to wait about a minute until his next attack where he can utilize those reptiles to help get in there. Chameleon's on the way for Melvin as well, about 20 seconds behind those of Araloo. So that means if Araloo attacks right when his 2 chameleons are out, then Melvin would only have 1 chameleon on the board, and that can make a big difference.
It could definitely, but he has to hit that timing pretty precisely here. And I think that if Melvin just goes for 4 chameleons and starts getting 9 toads out, that he could go for some sort of engage that could really make it hard for Arlo to defend himself against it.
Yeah, and since he placed 2 tier 2 Warrens down, he actually should have chameleons out in time now, since he'll have 2 instead of 1, you know, when Araloos are done.
Indeed.
So this is getting tense. You know, Airlu is winning the farm war here. He's almost 2 base fully saturated. Melvin moving out here with a couple cams, getting his units in position. And looking at the units here, looks like Airlu does have a few extra tier 1 on his opponent. Melvin really needs to delay this fight. You know, those 4 cams would make a big, big difference. He just needs a little bit more time. And Airlu so far is inching in. Melvin's got 3 of the cams here on the board, and Airlu is going to go for it.
He has more T1, but here comes the 3rd cam in. The 4th one is going to join shortly after here, but is it going to be enough to win this fight? I think that this 4th cam is going to matter a lot. Look at that. This 4th cam is just going to tell Arlo to back off. And Melvin manages to defend himself for now, with a T2 advantage now.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Airlu does have more farms than his opponent, and with all these tier 1 Warrens as well, he'll be able to rebuild very quickly. Airlu also going up to his own double cam Warrens. So it looks like we might get about 30 to 45 seconds of a breather here. I'd love to see Melvin kind of mine sweeping with his cams.
Yeah, there you go. Down goes the mine, and ooh, okay, both cams get to take a mine each, which is really good for Melvin. And he's just gonna get that 40 food of value there and let the cams rest for a little bit to heal them up once more.
3rd base on the way here from Airlu. No tier 3s just yet, and I think that makes a lot of sense. The rush distance here is very, very small. It's very, very easy to pull the trigger and attack in, especially since both players have moles. So trying to be overly greedy here will definitely be the death of you. And now we're going to get kind of into that scouting phase of the game, where scouting becomes one of the most important things. You know, keeping an eye on how many 3rd base farms are there. Keeping an eye on tier 2 counts. Looking for those tier 3. Here comes some harassing cams. They get a farm, they get 2 mines. Really great value.
Really good value there. One thing I also want to see from Velvin right now, look at Arlo's army comp having 6 cams and 9 moles. It's a prime target for any sort of Toad shenanigans right now. Toad would be really good here, but here comes the engagement here between Arlo and Melvin, and we'll see who takes it home this time. Arlo seems to be pushing in against Melvin here. All the cams are now down, but the T1 lead now goes to Arlo, who's going to have a 5th cam join the fight here and start really smacking into Melvin's base.
And that's it. Melvin taps out. Airlu taking the 4-0 sweep. And man, it looked a lot more even than that. But Airlu just coming out on top of that fight with all of the tier 1 left over. You know, really able to sweep him through. I think maybe Melvin's reinforcing tier 1 were just too far away.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. I also think that one thing that could make the fight much easier for Melvin here was that if he had built Toads, I think Toads would have been absolutely great to have there, and he should probably have invested more in them.
Well, I guess that does it for the tournament, guys. Congratulations for Airlu making the 4-0 victory here in the grand finals. Of course, congratulations to Melvin, Cyanide Trick, and Mishi for all putting up a wonderful show today. And while I've got everybody here, I do want to shout out Premium Bows 2v2 Bazaar Tournament next weekend. Go ahead and sign up for that in the Discord. If you don't have a partner, go ahead and go to the sign up channel anyways and kind of post. Like Jet, if you look, there's Bone Dog, there's Snetch that are looking for pros. So grab one of those new guys, man, and make a team. And
yeah, I'll do myself some research. I'll do myself a little bit of research on the tournament first, just to see if the time works out for me and all. But other than that, I also want to start arranging a little tournament of my own. We've been talking that already, so I might come at you soon, Delthius, with some suggestions on that.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is going to be next weekend, though, at 1 p.m. EST. So next Saturday, we're going to have some more Tooth and Tail action, guys. We're going to do the 2v2 Bazaar Tournament designed for beginners and pros to play together. So don't be shy, guys. Sign up for that. Again, if you don't have a partner, just go ahead and post in the Discord anyways, and maybe a partner can be found for you, or people can help you get one together. But that's it for the show, man. Thank you so much for casting with me today, Jet, and let me know whenever you get your next event sorted out, man. I'd be happy to help you out if I can, or plug it on the feast or anything like that. So
I'll probably start making my own Discord for it and all, and see if I can arrange some fun times there. But so it's not gonna happen now. I'm about to head to bed here, so
Yeah, absolutely. It's late over there. I appreciate it. Hey, about 2 hours. So that we made good time at least. Didn't go too long.
No, I'll try and get something done, like get something together by Monday, and we'll see if people will enjoy a tournament where I just want to do a standard double elimination, maybe single elimination. We'll see how that goes, and do one round of the tournament per week.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. All right, guys, you're all a bunch of beautiful nerds. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. That is it for us today. Again, we got premium boat. First off, big shout out to the gentleman. His 21 events are always awesome, and I feel like they're a really big driving force in the community scene and keeping this game alive. So we do really appreciate all the work guys like Gentleman and Premium Bow do behind the scenes to organize this kind of stuff. Of course, Jet has been helping out cast this, old Big Pimpintosh as well. And of course, all the players who got involved with this. It was really fun, man. It was like playing a board game, essentially, with some matches of Tooth and Tail in the middle. So I had fun. I think it's always really cool to see these weird, off-the-wall kind of events. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to your event, Jet, because it's also really refreshing every now and then where it's like, hey, man, double elimination bracket, challenge, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we have the holy trifecta here of Gent's fun, weird tournaments, of the Tooth and Tail League with the random maps and stuff, and then we have like me with the super serious custom maps, and that's gonna be excellent.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. So, all right, guys, make sure to sign up for Premium Bow's event next weekend. We will be streaming that here on ToothAndTailTV. And I'm pretty sure, I apologize, I missed a feast last night. One of my buddies hosted like a big online game night.